Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We are primed and ready to go for game one of tonight. Yes, we will indeed be attempting the doubleheader, the faded doubleheader in the middle of the week. We normally don't get to these, but with a little bit of an earlier start time, 7 p.m. tip-off time, meaning the late game starts at around 9:30, means we could probably sneak it in. I think we'll be all right. Let's go ahead. Let's start the show. Let's start the rundown, and let's get going. That is correct. That is correct. We are indeed back yet again. Here tonight, no New York Knicks on the docket, but we do have two pretty dang good nationally televised games. First, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, taking on the Detroit Pistons. By the way, Anthony Edwards was questionable, so let me double check to see if he is actually playing. Edwards is out tonight? No! I did think this was going to be a possibility, but it should still be a fun matchup between these two teams. I also know Jaden McDaniel is out, so that definitely puts the Minnesota Timberwolves on the back leg here tonight as the Detroit Pistons come in pretty dang hot. Dennis Jenkins playing excellent basketball in the absence of Cade Cunningham, and they have pretty much everybody back. The Detroit Pistons will be missing Isaiah Stewart, but everybody else is available, unlike that Thunder game that we ended up not doing because the Pistons decided to sit a bunch of starters, even though that game went into overtime and it was fun and competitive. Here tonight, we should have a fun, competitive game. It is in Detroit. There is a possibility that Detroit will run this Minnesota team out of the gym because they will probably struggle to score unless Julius Randle wants to wake up and actually play some all-star level basketball again the way we know he can. But outside of that, this should be a pretty fun match where you got Rudy Gobert going up against Jalen Duren, the big, physical, imposing 7'2" interior presence of Gobert, taking on the big, dominant, imposing offensive big man in Jalen Duren, who's up and rising, while Rudy Gobert at 33 years old, I believe he is. We'll see it once we get to Rudy Gobert. As a matter of fact, let's get off of Anthony Edwards, considering he is out tonight, unfortunately. Thank you for that, CEO King. I was literally about to double check it because I knew he was questionable coming in, and I knew it was a possibility he wasn't going to play, but it's fine because we have Julius Randle ball. And Mr. Once a Nick, always a Nick, Julius Randle. I always salute the Sarge, always have an appreciation for what Julius Randle brought to my favorite organization, the New York Knicks. But we start to look at his season, and it has not looked great. He's still averaging around 20, but the rebounding is down to around 7. I mean, the guy always hovered around 10 at least when he was with the New York Knicks. And I know he's playing alongside a dominant rebounder in Rudy Gobert, so it's not necessarily the same. But man, does it feel like, you know, and I read the post-game quote the other night from head coach Chris Finch of the Timberwolves, in which he said, man, we need Julius Randle to just rebound better. He just kind of just flat out said it. Trapped in the 90s. What's up, Trapped in the 90s? Keenan Har. What's up, Keenan Har? The Hawks are making a real run at 48 wins for me. Yes, they are, brother. Yes, they are. They continue to win. What are they sitting at right now? They're up to the 5th seed. And they have a full game and a half ahead of Philly and Toronto to stay out of the play-in. 44-33. Yeah, man. Yeah, they're making a run for it. I don't know what the rest of the schedule is like, I could pull it up real quick right here just to take a look at it. David Osh Jr., what's up, David? Joseph, as always. What's up, Joseph? The Atlanta Hawks, they do have a Knicks game coming up, although they do also have a Brooklyn game coming up. Back-to-back games against the Cleveland Cavaliers and then a game against Miami. So not the easiest schedule in the season, but they could absolutely, still kind of run the table a little bit. But, that's pretty tough. Obviously, the Brooklyn game you could toss up as a win, but New York, Cleveland, Miami, all 4 of those next games to end the season are all toss-ups. Makash Znari? What's up, Makash? What is your opinion? First quarter, both teams more or less than 55 points. No idea. Depends on what team would. It depends on if they're going to make shots, brother. That is kind of basketball. You can't really predict something like that. Are they going to make shots? Are their perimeter shots going to go down here today? Keenan Hart said Brooklyn is a win. Brooklyn is definitely a win. We could pencil that one in for a W. But New York, Cleveland, Miami, all the next 4 games for Atlanta, toss-ups, man. Toss-ups. Crane said Ant-Man is back, let's go. I thought Ant-Man was out. CEO King came in earlier and said he's not playing today. I know he was questionable coming into tonight. I know Crandon, you are a Timberwolves fan, so you would know. So I guess I'll take your word for it. Did ESPN update their injury list? They have him. He's been ruled out for Thursday's game against Detroit. It's up here on the website. Did they change it? Now I got to go to Twitter and double check because now we're getting 2 different reports. When did you hear that, Crandon? Naughty Ghost, what's up, Naughty Ghost? CEO King said he's out. Crandon said he played last game, weird. He's been ruled out here tonight, though, but let me double check. Let me pull it up. Let me pull up the Minnesota Timberwolves injury report. It should be available here officially. So I'll pull up the Timberwolves. Yeah, he's not playing. He's not in the starting lineup. They got Conley, DiVincenzo, Ayo Dosunmu, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert in the starting lineup. So no Anthony Edwards. No Anthony Edwards. He is indeed out here today. It also says it over here. Normally, I just kind of pull this up real quick. It's not the most reliable because it's not usually not super up to date, but they do have him listed out, and they wrote right here, ruled out ahead of Thursday's game against Detroit. He was questionable, but Karina said, at least we have Ayo this time. Shout out Ayo Dosunmu. Let's go ahead and let's start breaking down some of these player graphics. Trapped in the 90s, what's up, Trapped in the 90s? So does every team want the Raptors in the first round? Toronto is an interesting case because there are times where I watch them and we cover a Toronto game and they look really good. And then there are times you watch them and you're like, oh, this team can't score the basketball reliably. And so they definitely seem like they have all the makings of a first round exit. I don't really think they have a ton of upset probability in them, but I guess of everybody available in that first round matchup, I mean, if Orlando makes the playoffs, you kind of want to play Orlando with the way Orlando's been playing lately. But, yeah, I think Toronto is also one of those teams where you're like, yeah, give us Toronto. Definitely as a Knicks fan, they've dominated the Toronto matchup this year. So, for sure. Crandon said Toronto easy first round exit. They definitely have all the makings of that for sure. Naughty Ghost said, hoping those T-Wolves join the Central after Vegas and Seattle join the league. Would unite the rivalries with Detroit, Chicago, Milwaukee, and Green Bay. It would indeed, although, listening to some of the national podcasts, it's not for certain that expansion is on the way. The league is definitely advertising it as if it is 100% on the way, but apparently it's not like completely. Like you still have to find people who are going to pay, $5 to $8 billion for a team. Obviously, it would not be one person; it would likely be a group of very wealthy people doing so. I don't think expansion is as readily on the way as we initially thought when that report came out. But we'll move forward, and I will move forward as if it is until news otherwise tells us otherwise. David said there's going to be no easy outs. Well, there's going to be no easy outs for the New York Knicks because they could lose to anybody on any given night with the way they've played this year. But I think of the matchups, Toronto is the team where it's like, yeah, as long as you play well, you will be able to beat them even if they play well. Karina said, makes most sense for Minnesota to join the East. It certainly does. Star, what's up, Star? Are we in for another night of shenanigans? We could be. We for sure could be. Skomberg, what's up, Skomberg? I see this as the Knicks versus the Detroit Pistons. Both Minnesota and New York can be incredibly great or horrible on any given night. Yep. One night they look like world beaters and they look like they could compete legitimately for a championship, and then another night they look like they're going to be first round exits. Both of these teams, hilarious that they ended up trading with each other, star players with each other. Obviously, Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo, who I promise we'll get to as we run down the player graphics here, and Karl Anthony Towns have just kind of swapped issues between Randle and Towns. It's pretty funny. Crandon said, just remember when teams get added, only 8 players are safe on any roster. Kind of depends, Crandon. That is generally how that works, but not always how expansion rules work. They could change up how many players get protected. They could say 7, they could say 9. It depends on what they rule come expansion draft time, if it ever were to come. And then it's obviously really difficult to talk about it now because it wouldn't happen for another 2 or 3 years, the expansion draft. So we'll see where, like I had, people in the chat when like that news first break and they were like, who would you protect on the Knicks? And I'm like, likely the Knicks roster is going to look completely different by the time expansion comes around. So it's hard to say. All right, we know what Julius Randle is going to do, right? Well, not really. That's part of the issue of Minnesota. We don't know what Julius Randle is going to do here tonight. He is going up against a physical front line of the Detroit Pistons, which usually means he struggles against certain matchups like that. Although I will say the last time I saw him go up against a really good, formidable front line was when we watched Minnesota Timberwolves take on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and Randle was really aggressive and really good in that series, in that game in particular a couple of weeks ago. But that is also taking into account that Julius Randle was actually knocking down his mid-range shots that night. A lot of his jump shots went in, and that's the thing that has consistently held Julius Randle back this season, is that jump shot has almost entirely abandoned him, where at least with the Knicks, he was a respectable-ish jump shooter, hovering around 35-36% on pretty high volume. The volumes come down and also has the percentage. Maybe if he increases volume, he'll be more comfortable shooting it on a consistent basis, and the percentage will ultimately follow. But as of right now this season, the volume is down as well as the percentage. Not entirely sure what the issue is. Maybe it's the yips. Maybe it's just him crashing back down to earth after being consistently a inconsistent jump shooter throughout his career. But it is not working out well with the Minnesota Timberwolves and Julius Randle's perimeter shooting. Obviously, he's more than just a perimeter shooter. He can put the ball on the floor, he can get downhill, he can play make for his team. He's pretty decent at that, at 5 a game, draws a bunch of attention. Although I will say against this Minnesota team, I wonder how much attention he will draw, considering that they have the size and physicality down low to match up with him. Now, no Isaiah Stewart should make this a better matchup for Julius Randle, but again, he's been inconsistent, he's been in a bit of a slump. We'll see how they match up here tonight. Crandon said, a fight Detroit doesn't want to smoke. Detroit always seems like they want to smoke is part of their issue, but also part of why they're so good. Naughty Ghost said, all pending free agents don't count. You can wait to re-sign until after the draft so you can get extra protection if you already have a deal worked out with the player. You could, and again, it will, a lot of these rules are kind of expected, but nothing is tampered down for sure yet, because we are not 100% sure that expansion is indeed even coming, right? They've obviously put the report out that they are looking for people to buy possible expansion teams in Vegas and Seattle, but if you don't have people willing to buy an $8 billion franchise in Seattle or in Vegas, then you can't have a team there. It can't be a team that doesn't have an owner, that doesn't have somebody willing to pay for it. So expansion, the league wants expansion, but whether or not we actually get expansion will be dependent on how quickly they can put ownership groups together, because it's not going to be there's not another Steve Ballmer out there who's really passionate to own an NBA franchise. It'll have to be a group of really rich people pulling their money together to get to about 5 to 8 billion, which is what the league is asking for a new franchise. And it's going to have to be 2 groups of people coming together, right? So they estimated around 2028. Yeah, I think we're probably going to be pushing this closer towards 2030. And at that point, like I said, that's 40 years from now, 3 or 4 seasons from now, before we even start to have the discussions on what an expansion draft would look like. Trapped in the 90s said, Magic Johnson, maybe he could be a part of the ownership group, but again, Magic Johnson is worth maybe around $1 billion, maybe $2 billion, if he really wanted to pull every single asset he possibly could together. And these teams are going for 5 to 8 billion, and likely around 8 billion. Magic Johnson could be a part of that group. Crandon said Jordan of Michael. Again, Jordan is worth about $1 billion. Maybe 2, right? If you really wanted to break it down and put all of his assets together. Again, even both of those guys combined don't get to around the $8 billion that the league is asking for. So it's going to be a group of people. And the more people are involved, the harder it will be to get them all to agree on what percentage of the team does every individual own and who's getting the money and where the money is coming from. Remember, the Minnesota Timberwolves were being sold to the Alex Rodriguez group. There was two people doing it, but it was also a full group, but two main ones, Alex Rodriguez and I forget the other guy. But that took around 3 years for that deal to go through, and it almost fell apart because A-Rod and the other guy were struggling to pool the amount of money needed in order to buy the team. This is not going to be a simple transaction of like, oh yeah, the league wants expansion, so we'll just find a couple of billionaires and they'll purchase teams for the NBA. Like, we'll see, man. We'll see. These teams have gotten so expensive in the NBA that it is, at this point, a risk for some of these people to just pull all of their assets, because now you're all in. You're all in into an NBA team. And obviously, these people who get to this point financially probably value diversification of their portfolios more so than they'd value owning an NBA team, right? Because not only do you need a billionaire with the money, you also need them to be really passionate about basketball. Crandon said Elon do basketball a favor. Crandon, what about Elon Musk makes you think that that guy has any athletic bone in his body, big dog? That man looks like he can't even walk in a straight line. I said we would get to the player graphics, and we haven't even gone through Julius Randle. Joe said, I'm shooting hoops while watching you, Chef, speaking of basketball. Appreciate you, brother. Crandon said none, but he has the money easy. Again, you need somebody to be passionate. You also need somebody who cares about the sport. And like I said, clearly, Elon Musk has no sense on any athletic capability. He has no athletic capability in his body. Probably can't dribble a basketball up and down. Probably can't throw a baseball straight. He has no interest in owning a sports team. Nor do I think other league owners would allow him to own a sports team. It was already a big favor when Steve Ballmer bought the Clippers. He had to be approved by other owners, right? That is also another thing. The ownership group that ultimately would buy an expansion team has to be approved by the other 30 owners. And they would not allow somebody who would come in the way Elon Musk does and try to change things about the NBA and think that they can throw their money around, right? You got to remember, these billionaires have huge egos. Do you think they want to get little brothered in a room with the richest man in the world? Definitely not. Crandon said, Rudy this season out here shooting like Shaq at the free throw line. I mean, yeah, 52%, not great for Rudy Gobert. He's never been a very good free throw shooter, but that is not why we're here for Rudy Gobert. My guy's averaging 11 and 11 this season. He's been pretty damn good defensively, as he always is. As a matter of fact, I think we've kind of taken his defense for granted. Without Rudy Gobert, this team kind of falls apart defensively a little bit. Not even to mention the fact that they lost Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was their go-to point of attack defender. Now, ultimately, they found a way to replace him with Ayo Dosunmu, which is nice and good, and a really good addition at the trade deadline, even if I thought maybe they should have sprung for Kobe White instead. Right? But Ayo Dosunmu has worked out really well for them. But speaking of Rudy Gobert, he's been really good, and I think he's actually been super underrated this year. Naughty Ghost said Elon Musk takes a variety pack of pills every day. That dude isn't remotely stable enough to be running a team. Absolutely. Which is why I bring up the fact that he would have to be approved by the other owners of the league, and I don't think that they would approve somebody like him. Crandon said they call Ayo and Bones Highland twin turbos as a nickname. You got too many. We got too many nicknames for duos going around the league, and none of them are good. I've not been impressed by any duo nicknames in the NBA. I'm not gonna lie. Twin turbos is not a good nickname. I don't like it. The last one I kind of liked was man, what were they called? When Amin Thompson and Tari Eason would come in off the bench. Now they're both starting. The Terror Twins. The Terror Twins were fine, right? Or actually as wrestling, right? What were they called? I don't even remember what they were called. Doesn't matter. We don't call them that anymore because they're not good nicknames. Also, the French Vanilla Connection in San Antonio, don't like it either. It's kind of bland. It's kind of meh. They're not good enough as a duo to get a nickname. Like to me, you got to hit a certain level. Like Run TMC, they hit a certain level as a team. So that trio, was a trio, deserves that nickname. But we got to stop giving nicknames to regular duos. They got to be reserved. Like the Splash Brothers. Incredible nickname. Obviously well-deserved because they revolutionized the league and you got Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time. Klay Thompson, at worst, the top 3 greatest shooter of all time. I have him as number 2, but you could have him wherever you want. He's got to be in the top 3 or 4. Klay Thompson's right there anyway alongside Steph Curry. So the Splash Brothers made sense. Das Bompalen, what's up, Das? Bronchick is crazy, and I hate it. Jaden McDaniels, unfortunately, is also out. He's a huge part of this team. Not only their best perimeter defender, but also a go-to offensive weapon for them this year. Scoring in isolation off the bounce. The three-point shot has been incredible, over 40%. And they're going to really miss him here tonight, even outside of Anthony Edwards. If he had Jaden McDaniels, I'd feel a lot more confident. But he is out. He is week to week, so he's probably out for the rest of the regular season. Hopefully, he'll be ready for Game 1. Grant said, but now Curry and Klay are old, so now they're well, Curry's not bad. Klay is obviously past his prime. He's coming off the bench now, which is fine. That's fine. I like when our players remain in the league but age gracefully down to role players. I like that. That's fine. Steph Curry's still great when he can play. Now that he's old, he's hurt all the time, unfortunately. Star said, I prefer La Luca. La Luca's not bad. Also, don't like it, though. Robespierre with the Robespierre. Doesn't Klay have more records than Curry all time? Also, FA, better efficiency. Yeah, but Steph Curry's the better shooter. Klay got as many open shots as he did playing alongside Steph because teams were far more concerned about Steph, and Steph got his shots in a variety of ways that Klay Thompson didn't really get them. He got them off of movement and off of catch and shoots, whereas Steph Curry was shooting off the dribble threes with higher difficulty to make them. You know, if we went by percentage, there's so many guys who shoot at a higher percentage than Steph Curry. But the reason why they're not better shooters is because the level of difficulty. Steph Curry seeing multiple defenders getting grabbed and held. He's shooting them off the dribble, in defenders' faces, off of movement, off of catches, fading out of bounds, 30 feet away, 35 feet away. There's levels to this. There's levels to this. Let's get to Ayo Dosunmu real quick. Ayo Dosunmu, since coming over from the Chicago Bulls, has just been super instrumental in helping propel this Timberwolves team. And obviously, we've talked about them an up and down season, back and forth they go, similar to the New York Knicks. But Ayo Dosunmu has helped kind of calm down the absence of Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was a huge part of their defense and a little bit of their offense. Obviously, he's exploded offensively this year. But Ayo Dosunmu has come in and filled in that missing void that they had, where he's a knockdown three-point shooter if you leave him open. He's shooting it, well, this says 47.5. I probably have not updated Ayo Dosunmu in a while, clearly. He's not shooting, but he's over 40. But also, Ayo Dosunmu is like a really good overall defender and a pretty decent point of attack defender as well. Serge playing was up, Serge, with the primary defense. Referring to the Curry percentages, yes. Absolutely. Again, the whole game plan was anybody but Curry, and then obviously Klay Thompson turned into what he was, and then it was like, all right, anybody but Curry and then Thompson. But Curry's always number one on the scouting report. AP with a very generous super chat to start the night off. Appreciate you, AP. He said, got the package. Sheffy was rocking the gear today in the streets of New York. Now you got to add Knicks colors to the catalog for the Garden next year. Good merch. Appreciate you, AP. Appreciate you, man. Yes, we will indeed be expanding the store soon. But, yeah, we got some things working. We'll have the playoffs coming around. Maybe I'll do something special for the playoffs. Maybe throw up a sale or something. Try to work something out. But I appreciate you for your support in multitude of ways, AP, for ordering merch, for rocking it out in public, for the super chat here tonight. Thank you for that, brother. Tanaj, what's up, Tanaj? Detroit Pistons have the best winning percentage against the NBA's top win percentage teams. Detroit has been absolutely spectacular this year. And as a Knicks fan, it's been incredibly annoying, but my goodness, am I incredibly impressed with the Timberwolves season, and have I been incredibly impressed with the Timberwolves' ability to remain good even in the absence of Cade Cunningham. Dante DiVincenzo, Mr. Once a Nick, always a Nick, not as effective this season or even last season as he was in that lone season he played for the New York Knicks. Feeling like that was a career year for Dante DiVincenzo. He's obviously still extremely good, but sub 40% from three, 39, hovering around 40 is good, but not great. The volume slightly down in comparison to his previous seasons as well. AB said, your clothes are really good. Appreciate you, AP, man. I appreciate you for that. Thank you for that. Dante, 12.5, 4.4, 4.1 is really good. He does it all. He's become a more impactful defender overall this season, working with the Timberwolves. He's had to do a little bit more creation in the absence of Anthony Edwards and overall in the absence of a true point guard on this team. So he's had to do a little bit more creation. It's part of the reason why his efficiency has taken a bit of a hit. Slightly above 40 is not great. And then, slightly under 40 is not great from three-point range. You expect more from Dante, but again, similar conversation to what we had about Steph Curry. His difficulty of shot from three-point range has increased since leaving the Knicks and going to Minnesota, obviously in the trade, not like he wanted to, but a lot of more of his shots coming off the dribble in comparison to where it was. Skomberg said, where's the merch at? The merch should be linked to the channel, so as long as you go to the YouTube channel, you could go over the tabs and go to the store section. It should be linked to the score, to the channel, the store, but also I could throw it in chat for you guys. It is sheffystore.com. I got you, Skomberg. I got you, brother. There you go. That is the merch store right there. Mojo, what's up, Mojo? All right, let's run through some of let's talk about Naj Reid real quick. I always call Naj Reid the barometer of the Minnesota Timberwolves. If Naj Reid is playing well and he's on a heater and he's hooping and he's scoring and he's rebounding and he's defending at a high level, the Minnesota Timberwolves are extremely good and can beat anybody in any given night. But when he's struggling, it often feels like the Minnesota Timberwolves start to run out of offense and they really start to struggle to score all around. They really need him to continue to play at a sixth man of the year. He's already won a sixth man of the year. He's not really in consideration for it this year, but Skomberg said no chef's hat. No chef's hat yet, brother. Here's the thing. It is a print-on-demand company that I'm using to outsource the creating of the actual merch to send it to you guys. It's not something I'm doing in-house. Nobody offers chef's hats. Nobody has ever thought, oh, somebody wants to customize chef's hat and sell them. So the chef's hat will be on the way, Skomberg, but they will be sourced in-house, so there will be a limited supply. But they are indeed on the way. AP said, play people want to know where your story is. That red really pops out. Appreciate you, brother. Only 5 or 6 games more until playoff time. Absolutely, Joseph, absolutely. They're going to need Naj Reid in the absence of Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels. They're going to run that offense pretty quickly unless Naj Reid can step up and be a huge part of their attack here tonight. They're going to need it. Need it pretty desperately as well. Mike Conley back on the Minnesota Timberwolves after actually getting traded at the deadline. Got waived, I believe, to the Chicago Bulls. Got waived, and then he was like, hey, can I go back to Minnesota? And the league was like, I guess technically you could. And so they just brought him back on the minimum. He really likes it in Minnesota. He obviously owns a home there because he's been playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves for a while now. His family's all settled in Minnesota, so he just took the trip over to Chicago, and they waived him, and then he was like, cool, I'm heading back from my mini vacation in Chicago, heading back to the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he's back on the team, and they're starting him here tonight. Obviously, in the absence of a couple of players, Edwards, McDaniels, they're throwing Mike Conley in the starting lineup. He's not really the level of guy who should even be getting minutes at this point in his career, but with some injuries, Old man Mike Conley for sure can step up in pinches here to kind of get them and shepherd them towards the end of the regular season here. Should be good enough for Mike. Bones Highland has kind of fully adopted the backup point guard role here for the Minnesota Timberwolves, so much so that they ended up trading Rob Dillingham. They cut their ties. Remember back in the day, they used up a couple assets to trade up into the lottery to specifically select Rob Dillingham. He had been a disappointment and a little bit of a bust. I believe it was the 7th overall pick, and ultimately they cut ties because when you lose a point guard battle in the rotation for the backup point guard slot to Bones Highland, that's when they're like, all right, man. Like, shout out to Bones Highland, who absolutely earned that and has been playing his butt off. Again, hovering around 40% from three. Absolutely necessary to have a guy like him step up. They were hoping it was going to be Rob Dillingham after all that they invested into him. But it ended up being Bones Highland, and you know what? It is what it is. The best player won out, and so they had to cut ties with Rob Dillingham, whose contract extension, rookie extension, will be coming up in another season or two. And they were like, all right, we're clearly not going to be bringing him back because he's not really working out. So send him over to Chicago where he can, play freely and try to get minutes while we are actually competing for a championship. But Bones Highland, to speak of directly, again, is a kind of heat check kind of player. He comes in, he's more of a three-point shooter. He wants to get shots up. They need him to get shots up and be aggressive, and that's absolutely what ultimately won him the backup point guard spot in this rotation. Scoreboard said, after the NBA season, will you move to the Yankees? I probably won't be covering regular season Yankees games, but we'll see come September and October time when we get closer to the end of the baseball season and obviously into the playoffs. But there's too many regular season baseball games, so I won't be covering regular season baseball, but come playoff time, we might shift over and do that in preparation for obviously October is when the NBA season starts back up. So we'll do that to kind of usher us into ultimately the basketball season, but probably won't be doing baseball games over the summer, although you never know. You never know, Skomberg. We might. Cranen said, ew, Yankees never. We're in New York, brother. At least, I'm over here in the Northeast over here. So we got Yankees over here. That's going to bring us over to the Detroit Pistons, and we know Cade Cunningham out with the collapsed lung. Unfortunately, we're only, 2 minutes away from tip-off, so we could run through this real quick. Like I said, the matchup of the night to watch is clearly going to be Jalen Duren versus Rudy Gobert, and it should be a fun one. Two big, huge human beings battling each other down low. Obviously, Jalen Duren got muscles on top of muscles on top of muscles. He will be trying to move Rudy Gobert out of the paint. We'll see how Rudy Gobert holds up. We know Rudy Gobert is one of the better rim protectors in the NBA. Jalen Duren doesn't have much of an outside game outside of the paint. So he's going to have to be battling Rudy Gobert down low pretty much all night. It's going to be interesting to see, can Duren get him into foul trouble? Can he get the best of him overall? Will Rudy Gobert be able to silence Jalen Duren? And then where will majority of the offense for the Detroit Pistons end up coming from? Thegnon Gambles, what's up, Thegnon? Skomberg said, are you guys Mets fans? I'm sure it's split here, but again, I'm not a huge baseball fan. I'm a very casual baseball fan. But my family is always, for the most part, most people in my family, not all of them, most people in my family have always rooted for the Yankees. Nazdalan, what's up, Nazdalan? This is a game is Ant playing. No Anthony Edwards tonight, unfortunately, Nazdalan, but also no Cade Cunningham. All-Star Thompson, I'm a huge fan of All-Star Thompson. I know the counting stats don't necessarily jump out and blow you away by any means, but his impact on a game, he's one of the best, if not at this point, the best perimeter defender in the league. I actually prefer him over Amen Thompson at this point. Amen Thompson is the overall better player right now, for sure. The offense is still ahead of All-Stars, but he also has more opportunity with the ball in his hands. I love how All-Star Thompson has developed his game this season overall. Cranen said, at least you're consistent. Like me, some people wild and be like the Lakers Red Sox fan. Yes. I will never understand rooting for multiple teams for multiple parts of the country. Right? Like if you are a Timberwolves fan, you should be a Twins fan. Right? You should be a Vikings fan. Now, if you like football is a little bit different. Little bit. But overall. Tobias Harris is going to have his hands full tonight. Probably will be matched up with Julius Randle. We'll see how these two guys battle it out. Obviously, Randle should have the quickness and strength advantage, but Tobias Harris, no slouch, should be able to stay in front of Randle for the most part and keep him out on the perimeter. Obviously, they play very good defense. Having a guy like All-Star Thompson digging in on Julius Randle, if he tries to have it in the high post and dig down in post play, is going to be making it tough for Julius Randle, who we know can struggle with double teams and also making decisions off of pressure. So we'll see how much pressure the Detroit Pistons will be able to apply to a guy like Randle. Ron Holland coming off the bench, substituting in for All-Star Thompson is incredible because once you're done sweating and the matching up the physical play of and the perimeter pressure of All-Star Thompson, here comes Ron Holland to dial it up even more. He's not as good a defender, not as athletic, but boy, oh boy, is it not much of a drop-off. Isaiah Stewart is out tonight, unfortunately, but fortunately for the Minnesota Timberwolves, that should help him out, especially on the battle on the inside. Kevin Huerter is actually getting minutes now after not really being in the rotation after the trade. He's been shooting it a bit better. Obviously, with Cade Cunningham out, they're definitely going to lean more towards offense. Duncan Robinson still shooting it well from three. Thought he might get a little bit of a dip without the kickouts from Cade Cunningham and the pressure that Cade Cunningham can put on defenses and collapse defenses by getting into the paint, kicking it out to guys like Duncan Robinson. So he's still managed to be able to knock down perimeter shots for this team. Karis LeVert is the wild card. You never know what you're going to get from him. One night you get 8 points on bad efficiency. Another night you might get 20, 22 on good efficiency. You never know what you're going to get from Karis LeVert on a night-to-night basis. And then the big story for the Detroit Pistons this year, but especially since Cunningham has been out, has been the rise of Dennis Jenkins, who's been absolutely incredible since being inserted into the starting lineup here. And after a really big slump post All-Star break, Dennis Jenkins seems to have refound his game. And the Cade Cunningham injury, so long as he come back healthy for the playoff run, this may end up being a blessing in disguise for the Detroit Pistons, because it might allow a guy like Dennis Jenkins to get his game going and find himself. With that being said, we're going to jump right into the game here. Tip-off, ready to go. The Detroit Pistons win it, and we're off and running, y'all. Here's our starting lineups. As always, you have Randle, Gobert, Conley, DiVincenzo, as Dennis Jenkins gets all the way to the rim for the scoop layup right past Dante DiVincenzo there coming off the screen. Here comes Mike Conley bringing it down the other way, being guarded by Dennis Jenkins. Putting Mike Conley out there to deal with this pressure is not fair. Why are we doing this to the old man? DiVincenzo gets it over to Gobert, back to DiVincenzo, a left wing three off the Gobert handoff, can't get it to go. Rebound to Thompson, who's bringing it down the other way. Thompson gets it over to Duren. Duren has it out on top. Duren hands it off to Robinson. Robinson pump fakes down the lane, throws up the floater over Gobert. Got it to go for Duncan Robinson, and it's a 2-0 start a minute in. First two shots go down for the Detroit Pistons. Randle gets it over to Gobert. Gobert looking for a handoff partner. He's got nobody. Now gets that back out to Randle, being guarded by Harris. They lob it over the top. Gobert catches, goes up, gets fouled by All-Star Thompson. It's going to send Rudy Gobert to the foul line for two. We talked about it in the pregame, not a good free throw shooter, so we'll see how this works out for him. Scoreboard said, studying for my HVAC 608 exam. Don't forget those legs for Shep. Appreciate you, Scoreboard. Good luck on your exam, big dog. Get them studying hours in. For sure, brother. Rudy Gobert misses the first free throw. He's got another one coming. We went over it. He's about a 49%. He's about a 50% free throw shooter. So, law of averages tells us he'll make this next one. He does indeed make the next one. Here comes Dennis Jenkins bringing it down. He's being guarded by DiVincenzo. Wonder why they don't have DeSunmu on him. They have DeSunmu guarding All-Star Thompson. I think I'd prefer off-ball defense from Dante DiVincenzo, not on-ball defense. They try to get it over to Duren. Gobert knocks it loose. Duren able to pick it up. He's driving it down now, leans in, loses the handle, picks it up, gets the layup to go down anyway, though, after recovering it. Gobert does not do a good enough job of recovering. Still holding his face. I think Duren may have inadvertently hit him in the mouth, But, brother, you got to lock in. It's now 6-1 to start, 10:20 to go. They hand it off to Dosunmu, spins, kicks it out to Randle. Randle up top, a bad pass, but recovers it and shoots it anyway. And Julius Randle gets it to go down from 3. And boy, oh boy, did they need a perimeter shot from Julius Randle to go down to build his confidence here tonight. Back to a 2-point game. See how the 3-point shot can be super disruptive. A 3-point shot for Danish Jenkins trying to get it right back, and yes, indeed, he does. Anything you can do, I can do better offense. Off the dribble, pull-up 3 for Danish Jenkins. Here comes Randle rushing it down the other way. Randle tries to hand it off up top. All-Star Thompson jumps the lane, gets fouled by Dosunmu. And a sloppy start for the Timberwolves, and also a really sloppy play from Julius Randle. Just not seeing All-Star Thompson being aggressive. Just really lackadaisical play. Thinking that the Pistons are just going to lag behind and allow you to just pass the ball on top of the perimeter. That is bad preparation. You know this is one of the most aggressive perimeter defensive teams in the league. It's a good foul from Dosunmu, as All-Star Thompson really struggles from the foul line, as he misses the first free throw. Nadigo said probably his second biggest issue of the three-point percentage. All-Star. Always be fouling people too early. I think he's gotten that for the most part under wraps this season. That was something he really struggled with last year, but I think this year he's done a much better job of staying in games. He will still deal with foul trouble, as most perimeter defenders can sometimes deal with when you're being aggressive. Conley and off the handoff 3 can't get it to go. Gobert, the offensive rebound. He has it in the post against Duren. Trying to find somebody, hands it off to Randle, catches, pump fake, jab step, coming to his left off the Gobert screen, steps back for a 3, comes up well short, long rebound. Robinson saves it, and Duren picks it up. Here comes Duren bringing it down the other way, crossing over on Gobert, loses the handle on the ball. Good hands by Rudy Gobert, or maybe Duren just mishandled it. Either way, it's a turnover. They get it over to Dosunmu in transition for a 3. He's open, and he knocks it down. Dosunmu tends to knock down the open ones. Very good at that. Back to a one-possession game. Jenkins bringing it down, being ordered by DiVincenzo. Coming to his left off the Thompson screen. Driving it down, spins to his right in the lane, gets caught in the air, kicks it up top to Thompson. Thompson being guarded by Dosunmu. Thompson hands it off to Robinson. Robinson back to Thompson after setting the screen, rolling to the rim. Inside pass to Duren. Catches, pump fake, leans in. Layup, got it to go for Jalen Duren. No foul called as Duren tried to lean in and draw the foul. But he's too big, too strong, too talented anyway to still get the layup. Still converted over Gobert there. Randle hands it off to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo on the left wing, attacking to his left, leans in, gets caught in the air, kicks it up top. Dosunmu, another open one, but he misses that one off the back of the rim. Rebound to All-Star Thompson. He's going to push it down the other way. 8:30 to go here. Thompson has it on the left wing. Coming to his right, gets it over to Duren. Duren up top, throws it to nobody, but a late foul is called on Mike Conley. Trying to stay in front of Thompson there. 8:17 exactly to go right now. Ozahar, what's up, Ozahar? Nadigo said probably his second biggest issue, the foul issues, after his three-point percentage. That's fair. Obviously, his three-point shooting is poor. His perimeter play offensively is pretty poor all around. His interior play is pretty excellent. Danish Jenkins walks into a mid-range pull-up jumper, can't get it to go. Rebound to Dosunmu, and he gets it over to Randle. Seven Things, what's up, Seven Things? First-time viewer, just wanted to say you're great, love this commentary. Appreciate you, Seven Things. Appreciate you, man. Randle gets it up top to Dosunmu. Dosunmu crosses over on Thompson, crosses back over to his right, kicks it out to Conley at the last second. Conley up top, the shot clock winding down, settles for the step back 3, and he got it to go down. Old man Conley delivering a nice big basket for the Timberwolves here, who's knocked down a couple of threes to remain within striking distance against the Pistons here tonight. Thompson, a behind the back pass to Duren, who goes right through the chest of Rudy Gobert for the layup. Duren shaking his head, still wanting a foul call. He has yet to receive one against Rudy Gobert here tonight. Here comes Dosunmu bringing it down the other way. Dosunmu gets it over to Gobert. Gobert over to Conley. Conley down the lane, leans in, trying to draw the foul. He does indeed draw the foul against Jalen Duren there. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Mojo said, Ant-Man not playing tonight. Unfortunately, no Anthony Edwards, who is questionable coming into tonight, but was ruled out before the game started, obviously. Oda Austin said, Timberwolves on a run. A little bit. Still trailing by 4, though. Angela Harding. What's up, Angela? Didn't know you are on. Just happened to be going on my phone, and here you are. Appreciate you as always, Angela. Conley knocks down the first free throw. He's got another one coming. Conley rattles in both free throws. Joseph said these players who cry about foul calls are such loser babies. It's just become a thing in the NBA where you expect a call every single time down the court. Danish Jenkins gets into the paint, leaves it off for Duren. Duren misses the first layup, but right there for his tip, up and in. Jalen Duren has been absolutely dominating so far here tonight for the Pistons, up to 6 points. Up to 8 points. Up to 8 points. 4 for 5 now. Randle settles for the mid-range jumper out of the right, high post wing. Over Tobias Harris, can't get it to go. Thompson comes flying in for the rebound. Here comes Robinson, loses the handle, picks it back up. Robinson gets it out to Harris. Harris up top being guarded by Randle. Coming to is right off a Duren screen. Harris, pass fake, over to Jenkins, cutting back door, baseline pull-up jumper, rattles it in for Danish Jenkins, who's just in a nice groove offensively, man. Knows where his shots are coming, very confident in his offense, very confident in his jump shot right now. Here comes Sumu bringing it down the other way. Timberwolves looking for an answer. Gobert up top, hands it off to Randle. Randle, pump fake, swings through to his left, leans in, crosses over to his right, down the lane. Trying to draw the foul. He gets the foul call. He's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Foul on Harris. And it'll send Randle to the foul line for 2, but not before we take a bit of a break here for a timeout. Timeout, I assume, by the Pistons. I wish they would tell us who the timeout's for. Obviously, if you get to this point in the game without a stop and play, without a timeout or anything, you got to get a TV timeout in there. So one of these teams we're going to call a timeout as we're now approaching the halfway point of this first quarter. 6:20 exactly to go. It's a 6-point game. Randle will be going to the foul line for 2 free throws, 18-12 so far. We do have one other game, I believe, that is tipped off, so we can take a look at that. Yeah, the Suns and the Hornets are locked in a tight one so far here early. The Hornets, 40 wins. 40 wins for the Hornets already, and that's nice to see. Roger, what's up, Roger? What's going on with the chef hat? One day, the channel's name is Chefy. One day I threw a chef's hat on just for the fun of it, and the next day I tried wearing a different hat, and people were like, hey man, where's the chef's hat? And so we've just kind of been wearing the chef's hat ever since. Why not? Suns just said, Mark Williams is back. Oh, do you have your full... he's coming off the bench here tonight. Smart. Bring him back slowly. You look like you got your full... Everybody's healthy. You got Green. You got Booker. Dylan Brooks made his return. Now Mark Williams making his return. Everything's falling into place for the Phoenix Suns. Jen. We're falling into place, baby. And Devin Booker's 4 for 5 from the field tonight, and you love to see that. Already tonight, Bridges hit a 3, Miller hit a 3, Ball hit a 3, and Knipple hit a 3. And Grant Williams hit a 3 off the bench. Naughty Go said the Suns have seen play inbound. Houston held them off. We can check the standings real quick. I'm not familiar with what's going on in the West right now as we've been so locked into the East. But if we go down to the West, we will be watching the Oklahoma City Thunder take on the Los Angeles Lakers later tonight. Right after this game. Lakers on a 4-game winning streak. OKC on a 3-game losing streak. One of these losing streaks will come to an end. Both teams in the last 10 are 9-1. So the Phoenix Suns, they're playing bound. Minnesota and Houston holding them off. They're 5 back in the loss column, so they're not mathematically eliminated from the 6th seed, but the Minnesota Timberwolves would have to lose every single game to end the season, and the Suns will have to win every single game in order to overcome them for a playoff spot. So they're gonna have to battle their way out of this play-in. And I tell you what, that Phoenix Suns Clippers matchup, if that's what it ends up being, obviously Portland right there, half game behind LA for that 8th seed. The Phoenix Suns will indeed be the 7th seed, so they'll have 2 opportunities to get into the playoffs this season. So it is very likely that the Phoenix Suns will end up into the playoffs, whether it says the 7th seed or the 8th seed. Honestly, I'd love to see them take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Of all of the, either them or the Clippers. Of all of the, I wouldn't love to play the Spurs if I was the Suns. I'd rather play the Thunder, I think. Muhammad, what's up, Muhammad? Here we go. We're back into it. Randle has his 2 free throws. Makes the first one. He's got one more coming. Joe said Spurs versus OKC in the playoffs is going to be good. It will indeed be good if it does happen. Son Jen said check the record against the Spurs. I don't really care that much about regular season record of team versus team. There's so much that goes on in the regular season with players being out, injuries occurring, nice pick and roll where Tobias Harris gets the layup over Gobert on the nice feed from Danish Jenkins, but Harris comes on limping, looked like knee-to-knee contact. Dosun moved the other way, wide open right wing 3, he got it to go. As Harris still limping around on his left knee, he might have to come out. He's too old for this. And a timeout for Detroit. Harris still limping. Pretty decent limp for Tobias Harris. By the way, Randle did knock down both free throws, and there's 5:53 to go. Jeremiah Williams said, I literally need Rudy to get 2.5 points in the first quarter. He has 1 point. So if he gets a layup or a dunk, you'll be all right, brother. You'll be all right. Joseph said, wait, Chef, can 2 teams in the same division face each other in the playoffs? They can. Divisions don't really matter in the NBA anymore. It is dependent on what seed you are at. Benzino, what's up, Benzino? Why the Spurs underdog tonight at the Clippers? I don't know. Suns Jen said, Suns beat them 2 times and lost another game by 1. It's not negligible. It's not negligible. You could always, go back and take those games into account for sure. I just, as somebody who follows a team that got absolutely dog-walked by the Boston Celtics last year and then beat them in 6 in the playoffs, I don't take a ton into account of regular season matchups. Like I said, was a team on a road trip and then just came back and then, played in that game? Was one team well rested and the other team was the second night of a back-to-back? Was, what players were available? What was the game plan looking like? Did a player have a birthday around that game and then maybe they celebrated, maybe they didn't have the greatest performance? I think as somebody who doesn't have a dog in the fight, I would rather see the Suns play the Thunder than play the Spurs. But I'm also not looking at it from the perspective of who can the Suns beat. If we're talking about who can the Suns beat, if I'm any team in the West and I'm already going to be an underdog, I'm looking at the San Antonio Spurs and I'm like, hey, man, they don't have that level of experience come playoff time, so sure, give me the Spurs over the Thunder. That makes 100% sense. Just saying, as somebody who doesn't have a dog in the fight, I think it would be a more interesting matchup, a more fun matchup to see the Suns take on the Thunder, because I want to see the Thunder face as many good teams as possible to try and wear them down before they ultimately likely meet the Spurs or the Nuggets during the conference finals. Right? So if they can play a rough and tumble physical team like the Phoenix Suns that could maybe theoretically shock the world and beat them in the first round, cool. But ultimately, I kind of just I'm looking at it from this perspective, Suns Jen, as somebody who is, hands up when it comes to Western Conference teams, as a Knicks fan. I just want to see a team be tough and physical and wear down the Thunder as much as possible. That's what I'm looking for. Roger said, what about the Lakers? What about the Lakers, brother? What are their playoff chances? I think the Lakers are really good, and I think any team that employs Luka Doncic has the possibility of winning any series. That's how good he is, and that's how much respect I have for Luka. Obviously, LeBron at 41 years old, I have a similar level of respect to, but at 41, how much can you rely on him at this point? Austin Reeves is a little bit less reliable, especially come playoff time. We'll see how he performs after a really nice career season for him this year. As far as everybody else, it's like a toss-up. I don't know what to expect from a lot of the other guys. We come out of the timeout. Nice play for the Detroit Pistons. Duncan Robinson comes off a flare screen, knocks down the straightaway 3, was also looking for the foul call, and just like that, it's back up to 6. Bruce Fowler, what's up, Bruce? Bones Highland is in the game. Gets it over to DiVincenzo, curling off a screen. DiVincenzo has it up top, being guarded by Robinson. Gets it back from DiVincenzo in the lane. Gets caught in the air. Kicks it out to Dosunmu. Now swings it over to Highland. Highland hesitates, driving to his left. Step back, mid-range, fall away. Got it to go for Bones Highland. That in-between game, very important for Bones Highland. You don't want him to just be a three-point shooter. He's got a little off-the-dribble game as well. Nice to see him take advantage of it there. Dosunmu jumps the passing lane, gets the steal, and then Duncan Robinson runs into Bones Highland, trying to battle for that loose ball. Ball will go back to the Timberwolves here. Bruce Fowler said all West Coast first-round series will go 5. We'll see. Hopefully not, but we will see. David Goliath. What's up, David? Boston and San Antonio can beat OKC in the playoffs. I think there's a bunch of teams that can beat OKC in the playoffs. I think Denver can. I think Minnesota can when fully healthy. I think a lot of teams can. Duren has it up top, and Duren throws it away. Ball will go back to the Timberwolves. They missed the shot previously. That's why the Timberwolves had the ball. Durston, what's up, Durston? He said, morning, Sheffy. It is nighttime for me, brother, but good morning to you. Makash said, I think they might get 55 or more in the first. Let's go. Call me Cash. Gotcha, Cash. Gotcha. I think they might get 55 or more. They could. They're on pace to. 5 minutes to go here. Well, just under 5 minutes to go. Dosunmu has it up top. Gets it over to Highland. Highland dancing around a Gobert screen. Sidestep. Left wing 3 for Bones Highland. Too strong. Can't get it to go off the back of the rim. Levert with a running start on the rebound. Hit ahead to Herter. Herter up top. Herter coming to his right. Swings it out to Javonte Green. Pump fake. Jab step. Being guarded by Naj Reid. Gets it over to Duren. Duren up top. Coming to his right. And Naj Reid knocks the ball out of his hands. Ball will stay here with Detroit. This is a big moment for the Minnesota Timberwolves to see what kind of game are they going to get from Naj Reid. Thomas Roro. What's up, Thomas? Duren threw a couple turnovers so far tonight for sure. They get it into Duren. Ball was knocked loose all the way into the backcourt. Duren has to go back there to recover it. 5 seconds to go. Duren's just going to bring it down. Full head of steam. Rush it to the rim. Tried the spin, lost the ball, and it's out of bounds. Great pressure from Dosunmu there. Gobert was there backpedaling against Duren. Really bad play for Jalen Duren. Ends up in a turnover. Now here come the Minnesota Timberwolves bringing it down the other way. It's yet another turnover for Jalen Duren here tonight. I believe that's his third. Dosunmu has it up top. Being guarded by Levert. Crosses over to his right. Down the lane, leans in, throws up the floater off glass, can't get it to go. Gobert battling on the glass, saves it, kicks out to Highland, pump fakes, Highland pulls it back out. Kyle Anderson in the game for the Timberwolves, by the way. Highland up top, coming to his right at the Gobert screen, down the lane, Scooblet with the right hand, got it to go past Jalen Duren. Nice drive and finish for Bones Highland. And again, talked about him not just being a three-point shooter. Dennis Jenkins quickly pushing it the other way, though. Scooblet with the right hand, can't get it to go. Looks like Gobert got a piece of it, and the Timberwolves are off and running, hit ahead. Dosunmu explodes to the rim, Scooblet can't get it to go. Duren maybe got a piece of that one, and now the Pistons are pushing it the other way. Herter down the lane, has it on the right wing. Cross-court pass, Levert catches, hesitates, over to Duren up top. Now they slow it down just a little bit. Gets it back to Levert, cutting to the rim, layup off glass, can't get it to go. Wild loose ball rebound. Goes over to the Javonte Green, out to Herter. Herter up top, being guarded by Dosunmu. Jab step, crossing over to his right, spins back to his left, off the Duren screen, down the lane, inside pass. Duren finally gets the layup to go down, and yet again wanted a foul call that he did not receive. It was an opportunity for Minnesota to either tie it up and take the lead on a couple of possessions there, but instead they now go back down by 4, 25-21, under 3 minutes to go. Dosunmu has it up top, hands it off to Highland. Highland being guarded by Herter. He has it up top. He's going to look to isolate here, one-on-one against Herter. Swings it out to Naj Reid, hesitates, takes the baseline, goes up, tries to throw down a dunk, gets fouled by Jalen Duren, though, and Naj Reid will go to the foul line for 2 free throws with 2:44 left to go. Marcus Miller. What's up, Marcus? Lock in from the Bahamas. Who do you have in the NBA Finals? What's up, Marcus? Appreciate you, brother. Who do I have in the NBA Finals? Psst. I gotta go with my Knicks, because of course I have to. I have no choice. Going with my Knicks, as Naj Reid misses a free throw. Gotta knock down your free throws, Naz. It is incredibly important for you to go off here tonight. And he's shaking the right hand. Not a good sign. Flexing it, massaging his right tricep and bicep a little bit. You don't love to see that. You don't love to see that at all. Who do I have in the NBA Finals? Knicks against whoever you want. Enough Said TV. Appreciate you, Enough Said. Thank you for that subscription, brother. Hope you're having a good time tonight. Naj Reid does knock down the second free throw at least. Herter has it on the right wing. Is that Terrence Shannon Jr.? That is Terrence Shannon Jr. in the game right now for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Obviously dealing with a couple of injuries, calling on some of the younger guys to step up here. Herder off the dribble, off the handoff, takes one dribble, knocks down a right wing three over Julius Randle, and it's back to 6. Every time it feels like Minnesota's, building some momentum, clawing their way back in, a three-point shot goes down for the Minnesota Timberwolves, who I believe are 3 for 3 from three-point range to start this game. Najee picks up his handle, kicks it out to Randle, a wide open 3 for Julius Randle. He got it to go down. His second made 3 of the game. Both of them, obviously coming in the first quarter. We're still in the first quarter. 2 minutes to go here tonight. LeVert has, in this first quarter, Randle picks the pocket of LeVert out by the half-court line. He's just going to go down the lane for the easy scoop lay with the left hand. Too big, too strong, too talented for LeVert to apply any amount of real pressure there. And suddenly it's back to a one-point game, 28-27. LeVert has it up top, being guarded by Anderson. Gets it over to Paul Reed, who's come in for Duren now. He's being guarded by Najee Reed. Paul Reed. No relation to Najee Reed, by the way. Last name spelled completely differently. Ron Holland down the lane, scoop layup with the right hand, blowing right past Najee Reed out on the perimeter, gets the scoop layup to go. By the way, got a nice haircut. Okay. Ron Holland, I see you, brother. The haircut tonight. I don't know when he cut his hair, but Highland off the handoff from Najee Reed, puts up the deep 3, doesn't get it to go. Javonte Green saves it from going out of bounds, so now the Pistons are going to push it the other way. Herder walks into a straightaway 3, off the back rim, can't get it to go. Don't love that shot from Kevin Herder there. You're up by 3 points. Terrence Shannon Jr. crosses right over on Javonte Green, goes right past him. Nice aggressive drive and finish for Terrence Shannon Jr. there. It's back to a one-point game, 30-29. We're under a minute to go in this first quarter. Paul Reed fakes the handoff, keeps it. Good denial defense from Shannon. Back to Herder on the handoff. Pocket pass to Paul Reed, and Paul Reed throws a bullet pass to nobody, and it flies out of bounds. Not sure what the decision there was for Paul Reed there, who threw a uncatchable bullet pass down low to Kevin Herder. Goes out of bounds. Ball will go back to the Timberwolves here, and they could take the lead here. 2 or a 3. We'll give it to him. Randle will take the step back 3, misses it short, and again, don't love that shot at all. You have more than enough time to work your way for a better shot. Paul Reed crosses over down the lane, can't get the layup to go, battle for the rebound. Najee Reed ends up with it and get over to Kyle Anderson, who he will wisely slow the game down and should hold it for what could be the final shot of the quarter, as there's about 4-second difference between game clock and shot clock here. Randle has it up top, being guarded by Paul Reed. Randle up top, dancing with it. 8 seconds to go. Driving to his right, has it in the lane, kicks it out. Highland, he's got space, quickly heaves it up there. Off the back rim, can't get it to go. Kyle Anderson tips it up and in. About 5 feet away. Wasn't a super easy tip in. He just reached his hand up there, slapped it towards the backboard, and he got the friendly bounce off the backboard to get it to drop down. And just like that, Minnesota sneaks away with a 1-point lead here at the end of the first quarter. Really nice battle between these two teams so far. Obviously, both teams dealing with injuries, neither of them at 100%. The Pistons missing their best player in Cade Cunningham. The Timberwolves missing their best player in Anthony Edwards. So honestly, pretty even fight between these two here tonight. Cash said, yes, finally a win after a while. 55+. They got to 61 points in that first quarter. Shout out to Cash. PKOTV. What's up, PK? Julian Demble Randle. Bruce Fowler said, Randle is my Hardenstein. Why is Randle your Hardenstein? He got traded. It's different. Marcus Miller said, I got you, Marcus. You're sure you want to go with the Knicks? I don't see that. I see Celtics and OKC. Well, here's the thing, Marcus. I'm a Knicks fan, so I have to pick the Knicks. What kind of fan would I be if I didn't pick my team that is capable of making the championship to not make the championship? I gotta rock with my team. I have to. Are they giving me a ton of confidence? No, not really. Do I still got to rock with my team? I have to rock with my team. I have to. Roger said, I guess Julius Mandela heard what I said and is turning up. Randle with 10 points, although this is the biggest issue with Randle. No rebounds, no assists so far. The rebounding has been an issue for Julius Randle as of late, in particular. Sugar Dad Supreme, what's up, Sugar? No Cade, no Ant. No Cade, no Ant. So pretty even for both sides. Corp X, what's up, Corp? How come you never give any Cassie Russell love when talking Knicks? Cassie Russell? I'm not familiar. Cassie Lee Russell, born in 44, professional basketball player and coach, an NBA All-Star, was selected by the Knicks with the first overall pick. I'm not familiar with Cassie Russell. I've heard the name. Let's go to Basketball Reference. I was going to go to Wikipedia. Let's go to Basketball Reference. Cassie Russell, over his career, 817 games, 15 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, 2.2 assists. He was a one-time All-Star, was a part of the championship team in 1970 with the Knicks. His rookie season was 66, 67. Probably because by the time, when was his All-Star year? So they won in that 70 series. He played 57 games. He started 15. He averaged 9 points on that game, so he was a part of the bench for sure. But unfortunately, that was his last year with the Knicks. Was drafted by the Knicks. Average 18 and 68, 69. I'm just not familiar with Cassie Russell. Shout out Cassie Russell. Shout out Cassie Russell. Thomas Roro said Karis LeVert is god-awful. Raul, what's up, Raul? Randle get over 4 assists. Maybe. Maybe indeed, brother. Maybe indeed. Rai Maru, what's up, Rai? Will Duncan Robinson be subbed back on? Yes, indeed he will. Eventually. PK said Randle plays like Mbappe. He can't do 4 assists, sorry. He can. I mean, he averages about 5. Naj Reid misses a, 18-foot floater. Not sure why we settled for that shot right there with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ron Holland on the right wing being guarded by Shannon. They get it up top to Marcus Sasser, who subbed in. Sasser coming to his right, down the lane, draws the foul, layup, doesn't get it to go, but he will go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Sugar said, you're not a fan of either of these teams. You do a good job broadcasting. Appreciate you, Sugar. Appreciate you. I love basketball. Obviously, I have a favorite team. My favorite team is the Knicks, and I prioritize the Knicks coverage over any other team. But when the Knicks are not playing, we're going to watch some basketball, and we're going to enjoy ourselves watching some basketball. Marcus said, the ship is about to go down. It is about to sink, the Knicks ship. It very well could, man. It very well could. Highland gets it over to Anderson. Kyle Anderson on the left wing being guarded by Holland. Swings it over to Highland. Now over to Terrence Shannon Jr. A confident right corner 3. Can't get it to go down. Well contested by LeVert, but I love the confidence from Shannon Jr. on the shot there. They get over to Holland, over to LeVert. LeVert in the left corner being guarded by Kyle Anderson. Gets it out to Paul Reed. Paul Reed hands it off to LeVert. LeVert coming to his left, pulls it back, steps back, left corner 3 for LeVert. Got it to go for Karis LeVert. And this is the wild card nature that is the Karis LeVert experience. By the way, Sasser did knock down the other free throw, so it is 35-31. Highland tries to dumb it down low to Randle. Randle did not really have positioning yet. A bad pass from Highland gets picked off. Here come the Pistons pushing it the other way. LeVert has it up top being guarded by Reed. He's going to dance with it. Crossover to his left. Goes right past Naj Reid, who is just not moving his feet well tonight, either offensively or defensively. It's the second time he's gotten absolutely blown by on one move. 7-0 run for the Pistons over the last minute here to open up this quarter. They came in down by 1 in the second quarter. Immediate 7-0 run to start, and they're up by 6 here, 37-31. 10-20 to go here in this second quarter. Randle has it up top, sees a double team, picks up his handle, spins, kicks it out to Shannon Jr. Jab step down the lane in the paint, kicks it out. Naj Reid, deep right corner 3, and he makes up for it right there by getting it back on offense. You mess up on defense, get it back for me on offense. Right? If you mess up on one end, get it back on the other end. They try to get it over the top to LeVert. He catches, fires from the right corner this time, and he throws up a terrible air ball. Highland with the rebound, hit ahead over Shannon Jr. to the rim, scoop layup, got it to go. And just like that, it's back to 1. How quickly these games can swing. Under 10 to go. 1 point game. 37-36. Sasser has it up top. And again, the wild card nature. LeVert knocks down a wild as Herter to the rim. Nice over the head pass from Sasser over to Herter coming off the screen. They were overplaying him, looking to guard him with the intent of taking away his pop out to 3 off the screen. And instead he cuts back door. They call a foul on the Detroit Pistons here, an off-ball foul as Ron Holland and Naj Reid collide. They call the foul on Holland, who looks like he took the worst of it as he hits the floor. Both players appear to have bumped heads. See the replay on it here. Yeah, Holland holding on to Naj Reid. Looked like maybe he got bumped on a screen and ultimately, kind of inadvertently, but ultimately headbutt Naj Reid there. Naj Reid and J.B. Bickerstaff, head coach of the Detroit Pistons, having a conversation. Not sure if it's friendly or not, but I think Kyle Anderson tried to come over and get in between them and pull Naj Reid away from the coach there. And Naj Reid did not really like that. He had something to say and wanted to make sure he said it. Whose basket did I miss? Oh, I missed the Kevin Huerter layup. It's 39-36, a 3-point game. The Minnesota Timberwolves will get the ball back after this timeout. Corp said, I used to guard Raymond. What's up, Raymond? Have to be loyal to your team. You got to. You got to. I still got the Knicks making the finals. Because what else am I supposed to do as a Knicks fan? They're not giving us a ton of optimism, but what else am I going to do? I got to rock with my Knicks. Corb said, I used to guard Kazi and pick up ball in 1990. Love your streams. You easily have the best NBA stream of all the broadcasters. Appreciate you, Corb. Appreciate you. We try to have a good time around here. Number one thing I'm trying to do is have a good time watching basketball. PK said, I miss Cade Cunningham so much. I want to cry, but my mom says, say to me that I must be staying strong. He'll be back, brother. He'll be back. You'll be all right. Just that said, nothing stops a 7-0 run like a 3. Yep. Nothing kills momentum like a 3. What's up, Justice's dad? Happy to see you again. Pistons 67% old-fashioned, 2 for 3 from three-point range. Yeah, I mean, the thing with the Pistons, number one, is they're not a high-volume three-point shooting team to begin with, and missing their best creator of three-point shots, and Cade Cunningham, who drives to the rim, collapses the defense, and kicks out to their shooters, is going to hurt your volume from three-point range pretty heavily. PK said, you are the boss after Zidane, of course. I'm not sure who Zidane is, brother. Is that a content creator? Should I be checking out Zidane? We're talking about a soccer player? We're talking about soccer now. Is that who we're referencing? I'm not a big soccer fan. Or football. Not a big football fan. Trapped in the 90s. Gotta rock with the orange and blue, brother. Forever and always. Unfortunately. It is our burden as Knicks fans to carry. All right, let's peek back over to this Suns-Hornets game. 8 minutes to go in the second. It's a 3-point game, a close one. Love to see it. Marcus said, I feel your pain, sir, but you are making the wrong decision. Your New York Knicks aren't going anywhere. You got to rock with your favorite team, bro. Got to rock with your favorite team, though. Foong Pei said, the protagonist of FF9 Zidane. Are we talking about FF9? Are we talking about football? PK said, where's Anthony Edwards? Anthony Edwards is sitting on the bench in street clothes. He is not playing tonight, unfortunately. Sugar said, what does LaMelo have? LaMelo Ball has 5 points, 2 assists. Played 10 minutes so far tonight. 2 for 4 from the field. He's hit a 3. All right, here we go. We're back into it. Highland stops and pops from threes. They leave him open for just a split second off the step back. Misses it. Comes up short. And here come the Detroit Pistons bringing it down the other way. Holland to the rim. Gets blocked by Naj Reid. Good recovery from Naj Reid. They get it over to Holland, over to Paul Reed up top. Paul Reed hands it off to LeVert. LeVert gets it over to Huerter. Huerter on the right wing, over to Paul Reed up top. Nice ball movement from the Pistons here, but not getting anything towards the rim. They hand it off to Sasser. Sasser settles for a step back long two. Wide right, takes an awkward bounce off the rim, but Naj Reid able to corral it. chasing it down before it goes out of bounds. Hit ahead pass to Terrence Shannon Jr., crossing over on Herder, getting all the way to the rim for a layup. I really like Terrence Shannon Jr.'s game. I know he can be pretty inconsistent overall, but he's doing a nice job of stepping in here tonight. Herder to the rim again. Terrence Shannon Jr. trying to play for the foul, doesn't get it. Good defense from Shannon Jr., and the Timberwolves are off and running. It's a 5-on-4. Randle catches, pump fake, jab step all the way to the rim, gets the layup to go, and the Timberwolves retake a 1-point lead, 40-39, 8:30 to go, but we get a timeout from the Detroit Pistons after a couple of momentous buckets and stops on the defensive side of the court for the Minnesota Timberwolves here. 8:30 exactly to go here in the second quarter, so we'll sync up our timer as best as we can. Suns Jen said, Kobe White looking good, though? Man, I love me some Kobe White. If there was any unrealistic target that I wanted my Knicks to get, it was Kobe White. Like I said, unrealistic. They didn't have the assets to really go out and bid for him. But I will say, the Minnesota Timberwolves, They ultimately settled for Ayo Dosunmu because he was a bit cheaper than Kobe White. Maybe they also didn't have too many assets to go out and get themselves Kobe White. But definitely think if they chose Dosunmu over Kobe White, not sure about that decision. Not entirely sure it was a decision to be made, but Charlotte going out and getting Kobe White was incredible trade for them. Love Kobe White's game. Bruce Fowler said, old-fashioned. Oh, man. My guy Bruce Fowler's having a good time tonight. Foong Pei said, no arthropod tonight? Who's the arthropod? PK said, Curry is Neymar, Mbappe is Antetokounmpo, Wembanyama is Ekitike, Doncic is Haaland. Not familiar with anybody other than Neymar and Mbappe, brother. Doing too much. What's up, doing too much? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you, doing too much. Hope you're having a good night. Trapped in the 90s said, once a Nick, always a Nick. Let's go, Julius. Now, I got love in my heart for Randle. I got love in my heart for DiVincenzo. You guys know I have nothing but hatred in my heart for Isaiah Hartenstein. There's a difference between getting traded and betraying the organization that believed in you. Jeremiah said, did Rudy get injured? Rudy Gobert, to my knowledge, did not get injured. He's just out for his usual rest period here. Gifted and prolific. What's up, Gifted? Kobe White is absolutely trash compared to Ayo. Speaking of such, where is he? He is on the bench getting his normal rest, brother. Players do not play 48 minutes. They go in and out of the game in order to get rest. I definitely prefer Kobe White's game to Ayo Dosunmu. It's not by a lot. Ayo Dosunmu also extremely good at basketball, but does not have the ball handling and attacking capability that Kobe White does, and I think that is desperately needed for this Timberwolves team. They need another ball handler, they need another scorer, they need another driver to the rim outside of Anthony Edwards, and they don't have a lot of that, especially from the guard position. PK said, Sheffy is Steve Kerr. I'll take it. I'll take Steve Kerr. Not the biggest fan of Steve Kerr as a coach, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Bruce said to Trap in the 90s about Randle, not allowed back in the building. He won't be invited to the next Knicks reunion. What's the beef with Julius Randle, Bruce? What has gotten you about Randle? Is it how he's talked about the organization since leaving? I don't know what it is. He got traded. He got traded. He didn't leave on his own volition. Doing too much, so let me ask you, who do you truly think won the Knicks-Wolves trade? I think the Knicks won it. But time will tell. The Knicks ultimately got the better player in Karl Anthony Towns. And usually the team that gets the better player wins the trade. Randle, obviously they also got DiVincenzo, so there's that to take into account as well. But overall, Randle has big issues that I don't miss. Andre Portillo, what's up, Andre? Is playing. No Anthony Edwards here tonight, unfortunately. Gifted and Prolific said he's been cooking while Ant's been out. But they short him on the games and sometimes minutes. He's been doubling. Ayo Dosunmu was really good. I really like Ayo Dosunmu. Forgot to give Minnesota their 2-point basket to give them the 1-point lead, and I gave them a 3 somehow. It's not what I wanted. Boom and boom. 40. There's 40. And now Herder's at the Duncan Robinson's at the foul line. Knocks down both free throws. Minnesota retakes the 1-point lead. Here comes Mike Conley after subbing back in. Mike Conley, Naz Reid, Julius Randle, Terrence Shannon Jr., and Dante DiVincenzo on the court for the Timberwolves. We have Robinson, Thompson, Holland, Duren, and Marcus Sasser on the court for the Pistons. Dante DiVincenzo trying to kick the ball back out. They're being ran off the three-point line up top to Randle, but gets knocked out of bounds by All-Star Thompson, who is in the top 3 in the NBA of total deflections per game at about 4.5. Sugar, what's up, Sugar? Tobias Harris? Tobias Harris we could double check on because the last we saw him, he came off the court limping a little bit, holding his knee. They lob it down low to DiVincenzo. He spins in the paint and gets the layup to go. Over Ron Holland there. What a catch and finish for Dante DiVincenzo. Nice aggressive move in the paint, but of course it comes off the nice pass from Mike Conley off the inbound. Gobert is at the scores table getting ready to check in. Mike Conley digs down, knocks the ball loose from Duncan Robinson, cutting to the rim. Randle picks up the loose ball, pushing it the other way. Randle, middle of the lane, leans in, kicks it out. Conley, trailer as the transition 3 in the right wing. Mike Conley gets the 3-point shot to go down, and a 4-point lead is opened up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the Pistons are sitting here with 7 turnovers. This pressure from the Minnesota Timberwolves defense is really affecting this team that is struggling with their ball handling right now and their playmaking. Thompson has it up top, being guarded by DiVincenzo, leans in, little fall-away jumper in the paint, comes up short, rebound to Julius Randle. Here comes Randle bringing it down the other way. Randle up top, coming to his right. He gets picked up by Thompson. Randle driving it down. He's got the strength advantage, but Thompson is definitely more than capable of matching up with him size-wise, not necessarily strength-wise. But Randle's going to put him in the post, trying to take advantage of his strength, backing him down, fall away along the baseline for Randle, comes up short, bailing All-Star Thompson out in that matchup right there by falling away along the baseline. Holland bringing it down against DiVincenzo, behind the back, kicks it out. Sasser, left corner 3, a no-dip 3, comes up short, rebound to Terrence Shannon Jr., and a timeout for the Minnesota Timberwolves will give us a bit of a break. Sitting at 6:39 to go. Why was my timer not going? Raymond said Iverson made players look stupid with the cross dribble. He did indeed. He did indeed. Bridges, Bryce. What's up, Bryce? What's up with Rudy? Rudy's coming back into the game after this timeout. He's at the scores table. Ken Robinson. What's up, Ken? It's all going to go down to the wire, hopefully. Hopefully. PK said, for you, who is the MVP of this season? I got Shea. I'm not really thinking too hard about it. Wemby's made a nice run at the end of the season here. Luka's made a nice run at the end of the season here. Jokic is obviously always going to be in discussion, but I got Shea. I'm not a huge fan of Shea's game, but objectively looking across the league, to me it's Shea, and I'm not really thinking twice about it. I think if we start thinking about other guys like Wemby or Luka or Jokic, I think we start thinking too hard about it, and that's when you really start trying to dig deeper into, what is the defensive impact of Wembanyama and his rebounding numbers and his shot block percentage and all these other things and how he's played the last 10 games or so, how he's played post-off. And it's like, okay, but Shea's been doing it literally since game 1. He has been the best player in the league since game 1, and there hasn't really been a moment this year where I've thought otherwise. Maybe at the end of the season here, like I said, as Wemby's come on strong and Luka's come on strong and Jokic has been consistent just like him, but it's still Shea. Next year, it's going to be even more interesting because I think, from go, Wemby is going to be in that conversation. Luka should be on a better Lakers team next season as well, so that'll be an interesting conversation. Like I said, Jokic is always in the conversation. Shea will be in the conversation. Next year is going to be really interesting. But this year, for me, right now, it's still Shea. And again, not a big fan of his game, but it's still Shea. Nice pocket pass from Conley to Gobert coming out of the timeout, and Gobert just smokes a layup. We got to get those to go down, Rudy. Danish Jenkins gets down into the paint, kicks it out to Thompson, bullet pass over to Robinson, wide open right corner 3, and he splashes in nothing but net. For Duncan Robinson, we get back to a 1-point game. They get those 3 points back that they lost earlier. DiVincenzo hands it off to Reid. Reid hands it off to Dosunmu. Dosunmu gets it over to Gobert. Gobert has it up top, hits Dosunmu, come back door, kicks it out to Mike Conley. A right corner 3 from Mike. Gets blocked by All-Star Thompson. What a block and recovery by All-Star Thompson there. My goodness. Danish Jenkins driving it down the other way. Kicks it out to Javonte Green. He catches and fires well short. Barely grazes the rim. And the awkward bounce goes past Gobert as he was not ready for that kind of careening off the rim. And it falls into the hands of Duren. So the Pistons get the ball back. Duren down the lane against Gobert. Gobert slaps down and fouls Jalen Duren, sending him to the foul line for 2 free throws with 5:30 to go here in this second quarter. Zane, what's up, Zane? PK said, I agree with you, but my guy is Luka Magic Doncic. I'm not a big fan of Luka's game either. Two huge foul baiters, Luka and SGA. But yeah, like I probably love watching Wemby more, but to me, it's SGA. And I'm not really thinking twice about it. Doing Too Much said, who's your favorite Knick player on the current roster? Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson. I've been very upfront about that. It's been Mitchell Robinson. It's always been Mitchell Robinson. It'll always be Mitchell Robinson. Retire my man's jersey whenever his career concludes. Mitchell Robinson, number one, and guess what? Mo Diawara is number two. Jalen Duren knocks down both of his free throws. No, he doesn't. He splits the free throws. Excuse me. He missed the first one, but he does make the second one. We're tied at 45. 5:30 to go here. Dosunmu gets it over to Conley. Conley up top. Gets it over to DiVincenzo. Swings through to his left off the Gobert screen. DiVincenzo on the left wing. Kicks it back up top to Conley. Gets it over to Dosunmu. Dosunmu coming to his left off the double screen. Pulls it back out as Jenkins switches onto him. He's calling for a screen. Shot clock winding down though. They get over to Conley. He's got a fire. And he rattles it in. Mike Conley. It kind of looked like he was throwing up a little bit of a prayer. Catch and shoot really quickly. Trying to get it off quickly before the defense couldn't recover, knowing the shot clock was winding down. But he got it to go down as he rattled it in. His third made three of the game. Duren has it up top. His second of this quarter. They hand it off to Duncan Robinson, gets free off the handoff from Duren. Can't get it to go down off the back of the rim, though. Gobert with the rebound, hands it off to Dosunmu. He's shot out of a cannon. Duncan Robinson does a good job stepping in front of him. They get it out to Conley. He's going to step back for a three. He got another one to go, folks. Mike Conley turning back the clock here tonight. 6-point lead for Mike Conley. A 6-point lead for Mike Conley. 6-point lead for the Minnesota Timberwolves off of back-to-back threes by Mike Conley. He's got 4 made threes here tonight. They hand it off to Jenkins. Jenkins coming to his left, leans in the paint, throws up the floater, throws up an air ball. Gobert knocks the rebound loose. Conley saves it. Over to Dosunmu with a really, really dangerous pass by Conley there. A bullet pass down low to Gobert, and he gets fouled. Duncan Robinson just grabs and holds him, deciding it's better to send him to the foul line for two. Mike Conley has been absolutely excellent here tonight for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ken Robinson, appreciate you, Ken. It's popping, my guy. G4, what's up, G4? My man, how's Rudy playing? We got 4:12 to go. We'll let our timer tick down another couple of seconds here. Gobert misses the first free throw. He's got one more coming. Again, his free throw percentage is hovering around 50, so he missed the first one. All percentages say he'll make the second one. G4 said, how's Rudy playing? Got him for the double-double today. Rudy Gobert, not looking good. Not looking good at all. He hit one free throw in the first quarter. He's at the foul line for two here. He missed the first one. He's got one more coming. Only has the 3 rebounds. It's not looking good so far, but, you know, we got some time left in the game here tonight. Gobert does knock down the second free throw. He's got 2 points. 8 points away. He's got 2 points. Can we get him? Oh, my timer kept going. My bad. Can we get him a couple of easy layups or dunks on some drop-off passes? Can he get a couple of putbacks off some offensive rebounds? Duren off the pass from Robinson, lobs it down low to Thompson. Good defense from the Timberwolves to not give him the easy dunk. Instead, Thompson pulls it back out, gets it over to Duren in the post. Duren back out to Thompson. Thompson at the foul line, hop step in the paint, kicks out to Javonte Green. Over Kyle Anderson, way off, hit the backboard, barely grazes the rim. Gobert, the rebound. Here comes DiVincenzo, pushing the pace the other way. Jenkins knocks the ball out of bounds. I've always really liked Kyle Anderson's game, and I'm really upset that he's never worn a Knicks jersey, considering he grew up playing basketball in New Jersey. By the way, he grew up playing for a school a block away from my high school, and we were in high school at the same time. Shout out Kyle Anderson. Should have played for the Knicks at some point in his career. Really disappointed it never happened. Kyle Anderson down the lane. Low Euro floater. Can't get it to go. Can't get the friendly roll off the front of the rim, and the rebound goes to Duren. Here come the Pistons pushing the other way. 3:30 to go here in the second quarter. Thompson coming to his right, down the lane against Dosunmu, leans in, fall-away jumper over him. Can't get that one to go down. Kyle Anderson, good box out on a rebound. Quick outlet to Dosunmu. Hit a head pass to Rudy Gobert. A bad pass from Dosunmu. He's trying to feed the big man, but that's not a good pass from Dosunmu. We know Rudy Gobert does not have very good hands. And if he did catch that, he would have caught it around the foul line. We know Rudy Gobert is not making a move to the basket, so not a good decision there. Fear Nothing, what's up, Fear Nothing? Where in New Jersey are you at? I mean, I'm not going to give you exactly where I'm at, but I'm in hovering around Jersey City. No longer in Jersey City, but I grew up in Jersey City. They get it over to Dosunmu. Dosunmu up top, pulls it back out, gets it inside to Thompson. Bad pass. Thompson has to go out to the three-point line to recover it. They get over to Duren. Duren's got to fire the mid-range shot over Gobert, and he splashes it down. Jalen Duren, the rare jump shot, but he got it to go down. Doing Too Much said, who's your favorite player of all time? Tracy McGrady. A straightaway 3 for DiVincenzo comes up short. Tracy McGrady's my favorite player of all time. Here come the Pistons pushing the other way. It's a 5-point deficit, 52-47. Jenkins down the lane, leans in, draws the foul on Conley. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. Nice aggressive move from Jenkins. 2:41 to go here in the second quarter. Fear nothing, said I'm in Ocean County. I'm not in Ocean County. I can tell you that. Zane said Big Mac. My guy T-Mac, man. Favorite player of all time. Loved watching that guy play basketball. It was really upsetting to see his career gone too soon. And really upsetting to see how his Knicks tenure went. I was so excited when he got traded to the Knicks, man. Funny story. So I was in middle school or elementary school? I can't remember what year it was. I think I was in middle school. And one of my friends came over. And he decided to sleep over that night. We decided he was going to sleep over that night. And then the news hit that Tracy McGrady was traded to the Knicks and that he was playing that night as Jenkins hits the first free throw. He's got one more coming. And so we were like playing video games or playing card games, whatever we were doing. Again, we were in middle school. And like 7 o'clock hit. And I was like, hey, man, I'm putting the Knicks game on. Like we could kind of play cards a little bit, I guess, but I'm putting the Knicks game on. I got to watch my guy T-Mac play. He was so upset because he wasn't much of a basketball fan. He was more of a football fan. He was like, man, what you got me watching the bum Knicks anyway? Because the Knicks were not good that year. Dosunmu dancing with it, coming to his left. Jenkins did knock down both of his free throws. Dosunmu on the left wing, kicks it up top to Highland, gets it over to Anderson, catches it on the run, down the lane, half spin, leaves it off. Dosunmu to the rim, gets blocked by Thompson, knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay here with the Timberwolves. Dosunmu can't believe there wasn't a foul called, but it will stay with the Timberwolves here at least. Jakey, what's up, Jakey? Jakey said you weren't alive yet? What do you mean I wasn't alive yet? For what? For what? Raymond said, I say Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete was a fun one. Obviously before my time. Highland has to throw the floater up. Looked like he was a little unaware of how much time was left on the clock, but he threw the floater up and he got it to go down. Jenkins down the lane, leaves it off of Paul Reed at the last second. He gets a two-handed slam to go down. Gobert just kind of concedes it to him. Paul Reed caught it too far under the basket for Gobert to really contest it. Anderson has it up top. Over to Gobert. Gets it over to Dosunmu. Dosunmu lobs it up top to Anderson. Anderson cross-court pass to Highland on the left wing. Highland being guarded by Jenkins. Driving to his left. Leans in. Looking to draw the foul. Doesn't get the foul called. And Paul Reed with the rebound. Hit ahead to Jenkins. Bounce pass over to Javonte Green down the lane. Can't get the dunk to go down. Jenkins picks up the loose ball. Kyle Anderson with the chase down block. Here comes Dosunmu bringing it down. Coming to his left. Cross-court pass. Highland wide open. Left corner three. Can't get it to go down. Gobert gets fouled on the offensive rebound though. And the ball will stay here with the Timberwolves. Chan, what's up, Chan? I need 108 points in the first half. We got what? 105? We're on our way, brother. We got a minute and a half to go. We'll probably get it. Ken Robinson said, you're on the roll to see you on NBA Games broadcast. Hopefully one day, brother. Hopefully one day. Marcus Miller said, can we put JB in the MVP conversation? He deserves it. Jalen Brunson? Not really. If we're talking about Jalen Brunson, not really. If we're talking about Jaylen Brown, he's kind of like hovering around 5. He's not really messing with the top 4 guys right now. Not at all. Kyle Anderson has it up top. Gets it over to Gobert. Fakes the handoff. Keeps it. Hands it off to Anderson. Coming to his left, and they call a moving screen on Rudy Gobert. Hugh, what's up, Hugh? Duren looking good for 20. Yeah, what does he got right now? He's out of the game right now, but we'll go through all of the box scores. We're approaching halftime, so we'll go through all the box scores at halftime here. Manuel Mercado, what's up, Manuel? I have a new date a little later tonight. Wish me luck. Good luck, Manuel. Good luck. Do your thing, brother. Do your thing. Have a good night. Have a safe night. Jenkins down the lane, kicks it in the corner to Thompson, hands it off to Holland up top. Holland being guarded by Kyle Anderson. Back out to Thompson. Thompson up top, being guarded by DiVincenzo on a switch. Thompson picks up his handle, kicks it out to Holland. Holland with the shot clock winding down, coming to his right of a Paul Reed screen to the rim. Gets the scoop layup to go over Rudy Gobert. Nice finish for Holland over the shot blocker there. And it's back to a 1-point game. Both of these teams not able to build too much of a lead. Kyle Anderson walking it to the foul line, kicks it up top to Dosunmu, catches, pump fakes, coming to his left, gets open on the pull-up 3, can't get it to go off the back of the rim. Rebound to Jenkins, and Jenkins will bring it down the other way. Danish Jenkins up top. Coming to his right off a Paul Reed screen. Splits the defense, draws the foul. And it's going to be 2 free throws, or is it going to be foul on the floor? It'll be free throws. They're in the bonus anyway. So whether it was a foul on the floor or not does not matter. Crandon, Conley is balling, brother. Conley is balling. Jeremiah said, this game proves how trash Gobert really is just terrible. 2 points is just embarrassing. He's not a scorer, brother. You're not going to get a ton of points from Rudy Gobert. That's not his role on the team. That's not what dictates whether or not Rudy Gobert is having a good game or not. Anything you get, any kind of offensive production you get from Rudy Gobert is icing on the cake. It is not what bakes the cake for Rudy. Marcus Miller said we are talking about Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown is, at best, hovering around 5. I don't think he's had a better season than SGA, Wemby, Luka, or Jokic. At best, Jalen Brown is 5th. Should be 5th on anybody's MVP ballot. Craner said, Rudy is defense and dunking. Yep. That's it. That's it for Rudy. Anything else you get from him, like I said, is icing on the cake. Randle has it at the foul line, gets stripped, and they're going to call it out of bounds off of Randle. Randle wants the foul call. He's not going to get the foul call. The ball's going to go back to Detroit here. Troy hit that free throw, by the way. Or split the free throws. Jenkins split the free throw. So we're tied at 54 with 20 seconds to go here. Jay Hammer. What's up, Jay Hammer? Jay Hammer said, Kaz, an important big on our team, not going to be traded. I think anybody's liable to be traded if this team disappoints in the playoffs, which is a definite possibility. Detroit will have the final shot of the quarter here, of the first half. 10 seconds to go. Jenkins up top, being guarded by Highland. Coming to his right off the Paul Reed screen, driving it down. Foul line, pulls it back out as Randle switches onto him to get over to Robinson. Catches, pump fake, puts up the 3 over Robinson. Bounces on the front of the rim, can't get the friendly bounce. Nice battle on the glass by Naj Reid against 2 Detroit Pistons there. Knocks the ball loose, and that will be the end of our first half. Tied at 54. 24 minutes of basketball remaining. Halfway through the game. Cranen said, Luka will not win a ring. I mean, he got pretty close once. Pretty decent chance he could do it again, especially in LA, where we know the Lakers get preferential treatment. We know this. This is not hyperbole. This is not opinion. They get preferential treatment from the officials, from the league. We're tied at 54, man. This has been a really nice, really fun back and forth game here tonight. But as always, our halftime rundown is sponsored and brought to us by our guys over at Get Off My Lawn Records. As always, since the All-Star break, our guy Get Off My Lawn Records, their band, the Jazz Destroyers, have sponsored our halftime rundown. Always love giving a shout out to people in the community. He has been in the community. He asked for it, and he's going to get it the remainder of the regular season here. They've been very kind and generous with their support of the channel here. So if you guys have any kind of interest in making music or even just listening to good music, go to getoffmylawnrecords.com. You can listen to his band, the Jazz Destroyers, or any of the artists they have produced music. You can also sign up for their mailing list to get notified whenever they themselves drop some music or whenever any of their artists that they represent drop music. You can do so over at getoffmylawnrecords.com, or you can check out their YouTube channel, Get Off My Lawn Records, and the Jazz Destroyers, 2 separate YouTube channels. You can check them out. They were also very generous in giving us a discount code. You can use promo code Sheffy over at bandcamp.com to get 20% off store-wide. So, appreciate you guys very, very much. Now let's get to our halftime rundown here. Oh, my bad. Rue Simpson, what's up, Rue Simpson? Captain Mass said a couple of good games for sure. Skonberg said 74 likes. Can we get at least 100 for Senor Sheffy? Appreciate you, Skonberg, as always. Appreciate you guys. If you guys are enjoying the show, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and like the stream. I'd very much appreciate it. It is, one of the best things you can do to help support the community, help support the channel. Halftime for the Charlotte Hornets and the Phoenix Suns as well. This is a 6-point game, 66-60. This one is also back and forth, a good game here tonight as well. Cranen said he had defense on the Mavs. Lakers ain't going to be able to carry him defensively. Not yet. This is not the iteration of this Lakers team that they want to build around Luka. We'll see if they'll be able to build that team around Luka as they move forward, obviously, in his prime. But we'll see. They kind of just threw this team together. They traded for him last trade deadline. So we'll see. We'll see what kind of team they can build around him. But this is not the team that they envision at the end of the day around Luka. And we'll see if they can pull off that vision. That will ultimately determine whether or not they win a championship. As far as winning a championship this year, I agree with that 100%. I don't think he's going to win a championship. Cranen said, problem is they don't have draft capital for years. This is very true. But we've also seen the LA Lakers trade for guys with very, very cheap prices, right? I mean, they traded a broken player in Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic. You know, they traded almost nothing for Rui Hachimura. They traded Gabe Vincent for Luke Kennard. Like, they find ways to make trades despite them not really having assets to do so. Again, preferential treatment for the LA Lakers across the league. Kind of just is what it is. Foong Pei, what's up, Foong? There is a stream covering Suns Hornets, and it's just 3 dudes goofing off on their laptops and phones. You're doing a very good job. Appreciate you, Foong Pei. Appreciate you. I mean, there are different ways people want to make content. People want to make content as it's just a watch along. Like, the game will be on, and you can come into the chat and talk about the game, but you know, we're not necessarily going to commentate over the game. Like me, I want to do a commentary. I want to do a broadcast type of style here, right? As well as just kind of watch basketball. Let's watch basketball. Now, you guys, if I could have the game on stream, if I could put the game up, I would love to do so for you guys. But obviously, the NBA would not allow it. There have been instances where I've accidentally shown the game back in the day. Like, I just switched over to the wrong tab and suddenly the game was on. And within like 3 seconds, the whole stream was shut down. And I had to restart the stream, right? Had to restart it because the NBA does not play. They do not play. When they tell you don't use our content without the express written consent, they mean it. They mean it. Jeremiah said, Gobert is booty cheeks. 2 points for a center in the NBA is just bad. I'm sorry, no excuses even for not a scorer. I think you just got a fundamental misunderstanding of what roles are in the NBA, Jeremiah. That guy is not out there to score points, man. Doesn't matter what position you play. Guy's not out there to score points. That is not the value he brings to his team. It's not the value he's ever brought to any team he's ever played for. Whether he was younger in his teens, overseas, whether he was older, and eventually over in the NBA with the Utah Jazz, nobody has ever asked for Rudy Gobert to put the ball in the basket. The only thing they've ever asked him to do is to finish lob attempts, finish drop-off passes, but ultimately his value comes from playing defense. Zine said, should we go to with the engagement also? I try. What is the point of having a community and people in the chat if you're not going to talk and interact with them, right? Because otherwise, I'm just standing up here by myself talking to a camera. I'm in an empty room by myself with a giant green screen behind me. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is what it looks like behind me. I'm just standing in a room with a camera pointed at me with a green screen behind me. There's nobody else here. I'm talking to myself. I'm essentially talking to myself in an empty room. And the TV's on as low as possible with still volume. It's on 1. The volume's on 1 because every now and again I might need to stop and listen for, you know, if like there's a challenge or anything like that, or you want to hear a stat that the commentators are talking about, the broadcasting crew's talking about. So the volume's on very low, so I could hear it every now and again if I need to. But I'm standing in a room with a green screen by myself. This is crazy. But with messages in the chat, I could interact with people. To stand here and talk for 3 hours with no interaction would be crazy. Which is, I guess, ultimately is why some people just kind of end up on their phones or the computers without really talking to the chat. But like, y'all are here. And I appreciate y'all for being here because don't get me wrong. I remember the days of when I would hit the go live button and there was like 5 people. And 2 of them were probably me in alternate accounts. You know? It was like nobody. One of them was like my sister or something, you know? Like I would text her and be like, hey, real quick, go to my stream and just leave it on in the background or something so it looks like I have more viewers than I do. Like I remember those days and I'll never forget them. Because I remember sitting in a room 5 minutes before I'm supposed to be live and being like, oh man, do I want to subject myself of talking to myself for 3 hours tonight? You know? And ultimately now we're like, I'm doing a non-Knicks game where the community was initially built around the Knicks. I would only do Knicks games. That was the only thing I would do. And now we do games every night. We cover the entirety of the NBA. At least we try to. And on a random game on a Thursday afternoon, I can hit the go live button and we have over 200 people in the chat during a halftime break. Like, that's crazy to me. It's crazy. Because I don't do anything special. I just sit up here and I yap. I'm not sitting. I'm standing the whole time. But I just yap. I'm just yapping. Just talking about nothing. Filibustering for 3 hours over a basketball game. That's what I'm doing. Sugar said Shaq has how many rings? He's got 3 with the Lakers. He's got 1 with Miami. Does he have another one? No, he's just got the 4 rings. Got 4 rings. Zane, appreciate you, Zane. Appreciate you. Tay Cowboys, what's up, Tay? G4 said, where do we think Bron goes next year? And does he play? It's hard for me to imagine that LeBron would retire without a retirement tour, right? Like, he wants a John Cena-esque retirement tour. It's hard to me to think that LeBron will retire without announcing it before the season started so he can get all of the, he's a bit of a narcissist. He's been followed by the media since he was 16 years old. Kind of happens when that happens at your age. When that happens to you when you're so young, you care about the attention. He clearly cares about the attention, which is not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a part of his personality. But he clearly cares about the attention and wants some of the attention. So it's hard for me to believe that he'll hang it up without announcing it beforehand. So I think he plays next year. I think if anything, he goes back to Cleveland for a year, announces the retirement, has the retirement tour, says goodbye, and walks off into the sunset. Boss, what's up, boss? Can we get over 223 in Detroit game? We could. We indeed could. David said Braun with the beard and the Cavs. Yeah. With Donovan Mitchell. Would LeBron take like a vet minimum to go to a contending team and just say, here's my retirement tour. I wanted to be in Cleveland because they don't have the cap space to do so, but. AOG Production. What's up, AOG? Give yourself more credit. It's your knowledge, your appearance, and your audio, which is why I watch. I appreciate you, AOG, but look, man, this is year 5, I think, year 4, year 5, something like that of me doing this. If I wasn't improved, go back and watch the earlier streams. It's not good. Audio's bad. My ability to fill the dead air is not great. My play-by-play is not great. I'll try. I'll give myself a little credit. I think I'm pretty good at filling 3 hours of talking into the void. Pretty good at it, right? Now, we're going to be live for about 6 hours tonight because we got a game right after this. So, trying to maintain a little bit of energy. But, I give myself a little bit of credit. I think we put on a pretty decent show so far. Especially for it being a one-man band. I've always said, I would love to have somebody. And trust me, I've asked friends in the past, especially before I started, hey, man, I want to do this. Right? Whether it works out or not, I think it'd be a fun hobby. And we could build a fun little small community if it never really truly goes anywhere of doing content. And all my friends balked on it. We're like, no, we're not doing that. That's too much work and too much effort. And I was like, yeah, but it's fun. And they all balked on it. So it's a one-man crew over here. It's a one-man crew. Unfortunately. Lil Jew, what's up, Lil Jew? Do you think Io is going to go crazy in the second half? I don't. I think Io is going to give you what he normally gives you. As a matter of fact, I said we were going to go over the box scores and we didn't. Let's go over the box score. Io DeSumo has what? 6 points, 2 for 7 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. He's going to have a little bit of a better second half here. The only 2 shots he made came from the 3-point line. Maybe he makes more threes. Maybe he makes more shots overall. But I think for the most part, he's kind of just going to give you what he normally gives you. Will hover around that 15-point mark. At least he should. Scomberg said, no more void, brother. We are the community. Are here for you. Appreciate you, Scomberg. Appreciate you. Julius Randle, 12 points, a rebound. And this is my biggest issue with Julius Randle as of late. 1 rebound, big dog. One big old rebound. Not getting it done. 4 for 9 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, 2 for 2 from the foul line. That's nice. 12 points, 2 assists. I'll take that, but I'm going to need you to grab some rebounds. I think he's played solid defense all around, though, as well. The leading scorer of the game, surprisingly, old man Mike Conley turning back the clock. All of his shots coming from 3-point range. He's not going to be much of an attacker anymore at this point in his career, at 37, 38 years old, however old Mike Conley is at this point. 14 points, though. A rebound, 2 assists for Mike Conley, 2 steals as well. He's played really well, turning back the clock, even if it's just a couple of years here. Robert Davis with the Rob. I just want to say you are a pretty good play-by-play man. Appreciate you, Robert. I try. if I could have the video on screen, we could do a little bit more analyzing, right? Like I could maybe during timeouts pause stuff, go back, show you things, what I'm seeing, talk about them. We could talk about it together. But because I can't show you guys any video, I kind of have to default towards more of a radio type of broadcast where I have to explain exactly what's going on the court. The fact he doesn't stumble often is pretty impressive. I'll tell you, Robert, that's not always the case. Sometimes I'm on, sometimes I stumble and I stutter and I get lost and I lose exactly who the player is and I mess up their name or anything like you got off nights where it's not good. But I will say, like, I've taken the initiative, Robert, of being like, I need to be a better orator, right? I need to make sure I'm a better speaker. So if I find myself using certain filler words over and over and over again, I will call myself out on it and try to actively get away from it. But also, number two, something I did change this year was I was like, when I read, because I do love reading, but when I read, I need to make sure I read out loud, even if it's in a whisper. And that I think has actually really helped me become a better speaker, not stumble over my words as much. Also, really, like I'm taking it as seriously as I can as somebody who's kind of doing this on the side. Like I have a day job. I'm going to be waking up early tomorrow morning. We're still going to do 2 games tonight, at least try to, and get through both of them. But, you know, like I've taken the initiative of like, I do a little bit of warm-ups, you know, where as I'm getting ready, as I'm getting dressed, as I'm setting up the audio, as I'm setting up the camera, as I'm turning all the lights on, as I'm pulling the green screen back, or in, I guess, kind of, you know, like I visualize the game and the players who are playing tonight, and I just make up calls, you know? So as I'm setting things up, I'll just call random things out, visualizing it in my head of like, Randle has it up top, swings it over to Conley down the lane, kicks it back out to Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson swings through, pump fakes in the middle of the lane, spins, pivots, got nowhere to go, kicks it back out to Randle, shot clock winding down, step back 3. Like I just visualize a play and try to call it out as I'm setting up so that I can get more comfortable with players' names. That's just a peek behind the curtain of something I try to do. Not great at it, getting better at it, stuff like that, you know. Omar Todman, what's up, Omar? You're good when you shout me out. Appreciate you, Omar. I yelled back at the TV like you're in the room. Love your work. I do my thing on FanDuel while you give me stats. Win-win. Appreciate you, Omar. Appreciate you. We are back in the game. And Minnesota scored as I was not paying attention. My apologies. They knocked down to 3. All right, that's one way to come out. All right, let's get settled in. Dennis Jenkins has it up top. Gets it over to Javonte Green, who starts. So Tobias Harris is out the remainder of the game as Javonte Green gets to start in the second half. Rudy Gobert gets called for a kickball as Duren tried to hit Green cutting back door there. Carson, what's up, Carson? He said, yes, you are. One day you will be very famous. I hope so, brother. I hope so. And Dosunmu picks off a pass that was meant for Dennis Jenkins off the inbound. Randle bringing it down the other way. Back out to Dosunmu. Another 3 for Dosunmu. And he misses it. Fighting for the loose ball, though. Duren saves it over to Jenkins. A nice save from Duren. He's trying to beat Gobert down the court. Jenkins will stop. Pump fake. Swings it out to Robinson. A contested 3 over Conley. Comes up well short. Rebound right back to Duncan Robinson. And he gets the little floater off glass over Gobert there. Really nice play from Duncan Robinson. Not just a three-point shooter. Obviously, mostly a three-point shooter, but not just a three-point shooter. DiVincenzo crosses over to his left, pulls it back out, lobs it over the top to Randle, who has it out by the three-point line, being guarded by Robinson. Randle's going to back him down in the lane, using his strength, gets to the rim, knocks down the floater, and the foul for Julius Randle. He'll go to the foul line for one more. Felipe, what's up, Felipe? Okay, this is tight. First time I'm subbing, young man. Appreciate you, Felipe. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're having a good time tonight. If there's anybody new in the chat who is unfamiliar, we go live every single night. Now, I am a Knicks fan. I will be prioritizing the Knicks games. As Randle misses a free throw, rebound goes to Green, but the ball is knocked loose, but Jenkins is able to pick it up. I prioritize Knicks games, so I will cover the Knicks even if they don't have a very good matchup that night. I'm covering the Knicks game. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. I'm a Knicks fan. I will be doing that. I prioritize the Knicks. But on nights where Knicks are not playing, we get to watch as much basketball and as many different teams as we can. We are live 6 days out of the week. I try to take at least one day off to rest the voice, but we are live as much as possible, especially this season, to try and get around every team in the league. They swing it around. Nice swing around for the Minnesota Timberwolves, but Dosunmu misses yet another three. He comes out ice cold here in the second half. Jenkins bringing it down the other way, steps back for a three, and he splashes it nothing but net. And we're tied at 59. Conley bringing it down the other way. Jenkins guarding him. Conley up top. Over to Randle. Randle on the right wing, being guarded by Robinson. He's going to pump fake on the step back three on the right wing. Takes it up top to DiVincenzo. Shot clock down to 5. Gobert back to DiVincenzo on the handoff. DiVincenzo struggled with the handoff. He's going to have to settle for the off the dribble three. Too strong off the back rim. Nice rebound from Duren. And Duren will bring it down the other way. Duren has it on the left wing. And Cuddy D. Flam, my guy, Frankie, yes sir. You thought I didn't know Cuddy Flam, big dog? Of course I know Cuddy Flam. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a good time tonight. Felipe said the Wolves should win this. I don't know if I would say should, but I think both teams are pretty close to even. That's for sure. No Cade Cunningham, no Anthony Edwards. No McDaniels, now no Tobias Harris. Conley puts up the right wing three off the bounce. Can't get it to go, an air ball, but Randle able to save it over to Gobert. Dosunmu has it up top. Shot clock winding down. Kicks it over to Conley. A bad pass from Dosunmu. Dosunmu saying it was tipped. Conley tried to save it anyway, not knowing it was tipped. And Conley is out of bounds when he tried to save it. The ball goes back to the Pistons here, and we're tied at 59. Steve McQuinn. What's up, Steve? Thompson has it up top, gets it over to Duren. Duren high post. Hands it off to Jenkins. Jenkins off the handoff. Hesitates from three. Down the lane. Blows past Conley. Gets the scoop layup with the left hand. And it feels like Minnesota's defense falling apart a little bit here to start the second half. DiVincenzo on the right wing. Hands it off to Conley over to Gobert. Gobert up top. Hands it off to DiVincenzo. Quickly swings it over to Randle, who gets it over to Dosunmu in the corner. Dribbles it back up. Now gets it to Randle in the high post on the left wing. Spins off of Thompson. Down the lane. Ball knocked out of his hands. Green picks it up. And the Pistons are off and running. They have numbers. Javonte Green on the right wing. And he does not run a very good break. Should have gave the ball up. But Jalen Duren has the mismatch down low with Donte DiVincenzo. Conley has to come over on the help, and they just slap away and foul Jalen Duren under the rim. Doesn't even really get a shot attempt off. It should be side out of bounds. TT in the morning said, shout out to Sheffy for that one piece knowledge. A band of culture. Truly. Absolutely, TT in the morning. Absolutely. Fully caught up, by the way. Read it week to week. Actually, I've fallen behind by about 5 or 6 weeks, so I'm not fully caught up. But listen, man, I'm over 1,100 chapters in. I've been caught up for years too. Kevin Huerter has it up top. Jab step coming to his left against Conley. Spins off of him. Scoop layup with the right hand. Got it to go over Mike Conley. What a drive and finish from Kevin Huerter. Not known as an off the dribble finisher, but when you got Mike Conley, when you got old man Mike Conley on you, sometimes you just got to improvise and get a basket. Rudy Gobert has it up top, looking for a handoff partner. Good ball denial from the Pistons here. Gobert keeps it. He's got nowhere to go. Kicks it out to Randle finally. He's being guarded by Green. Driving to his right, down the lane, draws the foul, puts up the jumper, gets the friendly roll at the front of the rim to drop down, and Randle will go back to the foul line for one more free throw. 7:55 to go, just under 8 minutes. Just that said, is Monday versus the Hawks the biggest game of the year so far, or just probably a loss? Hawks are like 17 and 19. 17 of 19. The Knicks game versus the Hawks is on Monday, I believe, right? Is that what we're talking about? It's pretty big. I think the biggest game will probably come against the Celtics. We'll see. We'll see. Cuddy D. Flam, he said, I just found you. I will def be tuning in as much as I can from here on out. Appreciate you, brother. Especially after that one-piece shout-out. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Huerter has it up top, hands it off to Jenkins. Jenkins crossing over on DiVincenzo, taking the baseline, going under the rim, pump fake, leans in, fall away jumper, can't get it to go. Rebound to Dosunmu in the paint. Quick hit ahead pass to Randle. The pass is off. Randle has to chase it down. Loses the handle, picks it up, pump fakes in the lane, trying to draw the foul. Doesn't get the foul, but muscles the shot up and in over Jalen Duren there. It was just two big, strong dudes going at it, and Randle gets the win at the end there, getting the layup to go over Duren. Jenkins gets it over to Duren up top. We're tied at 63 yet again. Duren hands it off to Jenkins. Jenkins dancing with it up top against DiVincenzo. Coming to his right after rescreen from Duren. Steps back. Kicks it over to Green. Off the catch. Puts up the straightaway three. Splashes in nothing but net for Javonte Green. And I got to tell you, Javonte Green, not really known as a three-point shooter throughout his career. He's become a pretty consistent, for the most part, three-point shooter this year for the Pistons. And boy, oh boy, do they need shooters Dante DiVincenzo off the screen, left wing three, can't answer back with a three of his own. Instead, the Pistons pick up the rebound and are bringing it down the other way. Thompson has it up top, gets it over to Duren. Duren crosses over to his left, down the lane against Gobert. Can't get the layup to go. Duren, again, looking for a foul call. He's not gotten it. Dante DiVincenzo throws a really risky bounce pass, tries to thread the needle and split two defenders, gets knocked out of bounds by Herter, and it was a 3-on-2 fast break, and instead of ending up with a basket, it ends up in a turnover. Or not a turnover. It ends up out of bounds. The Timberwolves will retain possession, but it should have ended up in a 2-point basket, or at least an attempt at the rim. But at least the Timberwolves will keep possession. They're trailing by 3 points here, 66-63. Kamari Brookins, what's up, Kamari? I lowballed Gobert on rebounds. He can't get 8. Well, he's up to 6 already, and we're halfway through the third quarter, so it's not looking great. Muhammad said, "You're the best. Keep going, Chef." Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate all the kind words tonight, guys. Thank you for that. Genuinely. So far, Randle is now up to 18, leading the team in scoring. He also has grabbed 2 rebounds in this quarter. I talked about him needing the rebound better. He's got 3 rebounds and 3 assists. Let's go back around the league. Then we'll go back to the box scores because they kind of shortchanged the box score coverage at halftime there because we were talking about other things. Fabian Lonzo. What's up, Fabian? How many points does Ant have? Anthony Edwards has not scored tonight because he is not playing tonight. Unfortunately for everybody. The Hornets are up by now 9. Score just changed. Up by, you guys can't see it. My bad. The Hornets are up by 9 against the Phoenix Suns here. Phoenix Suns only scored 19 points in the second quarter, only down by 9. That's not bad. It's not bad. It could be worse. The Suns scored 41 points in that first quarter. My goodness, did not realize that. So that second quarter is going to sink them here tonight. Trailing by 9 to the Hornets. Honestly, the Phoenix Suns, all they really have to worry about is maintaining that 7th seed right now. Highly unlikely they jump up into the 6th seed, into the regular playoffs. They will likely remain in the play-in situation, but all they have to do is make sure they hold on to that 7th seed. They should be all right. Zane said, ever since that Draymond chokehold, Rudy hasn't been the same. Rudy is now, I believe, 33 years old, so he's been winding down as a player for the most part, in general. But yeah, ever since Draymond threw him in that chokehold, man, it's been downhill for Rudy Gobert. Jay, what's up, Jay? Are you going to go live for OKC versus the Lakers? Yes, sir. We will stay live here tonight. We'll cover both of these games. Both of these, I want to say primetime games, but because it's a streaming game, doesn't really fall into that qualification of being a primetime game. It's not a nationally televised game. It's a streaming game. But both of these are prime video games. Are prime video streamed games. So we will stay live. We're going to watch and cover the Timberwolves versus the Pistons. And then what I will do after the conclusion of this game, I will stop this stream and then immediately start the next stream, which will be in a different room. What will happen is a video prompt will come up and it will ask you if you would like to join us in the next game. But we will essentially switch streaming rooms, right? So this is one room. And then I will end this and switch over to streaming for the Lakers and the Thunder game. That should be a good one. Banker Brandon said Lakers or OKC. I'm not super high in the Lakers. I think they're playing this well because Luka's incredible. Gobert gets a nice putback dunk off the wild DiVincenzo lefty layup. Didn't hit rim. But yes, we will cover both games tonight. Marcus Sasser is in the game. He's coming to it right off a Duren screen. Step back, mid-range, fall-away jumper. Too strong, can't get it to go. Good box out and rebound for Rudy Gobert. Here comes Conley. Conley hit ahead to Randle. Randle left side of the court, bringing it down. Picked up by Green. Randle quickly gets it over to DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo in the left corner. Jab step back, left corner 3 for DiVincenzo. Way off on that one again. Hits the backboard before it hits the rim. And DiVincenzo just heaving him up there. All-Star Thompson bringing it down against DiVincenzo. He's applying great pressure into the backcourt. Ball is knocked loose. DiVincenzo over to Gobert. But they call it a backcourt violation before the turnover officially happens, before the Timberwolves pick up the loose ball. So they're just going to give it to the Timberwolves here and sideline out of bounds. K Hazy, what's up, K Hazy? You're going to hate Lakers versus OKC. Yeah, it might end up being a free throw battle of the ages, but we'll see. Luka versus Shea, the two biggest floppers and foul baiters in the league. We'll see how it works out. I mean, both of them are incredibly talented. Hopefully we get a good, fun, entertaining game. Reed has it up top, pass fake down the lane, lobs it up top to Gobert, and that's back-to-back buckets for Rudy Gobert. And the Timberwolves take a 1-point lead off of it. 5:30 to go here in this third quarter. We are past the halfway point of the quarter. Duren has it up top, hands it off to Herter. Herter catches and fires a straightaway three up the handoff, and he rattles it in. Kevin Herter playing extremely well tonight for the Detroit Pistons, working his way into this rotation. Feels like he's going to be a mainstay come playoff time. Gobert hands it off to DiVincenzo. Coming to his right up the handoff. Tries to throw the pocket pass to Rudy Gobert. Bad pass from DiVincenzo. Hits Rudy Gobert's legs. It's always going to be on the passer when that happens. They swing it out to Sasser. Extra pass to Thompson. Thompson in the left corner. Up top, Javonte Green left open for three. And he makes them pay by knocking it down. Rudy daring him to shoot. He obliges and he makes them pay. Under 5 to go now and a timeout for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Zane said, ref still 1 seed. I'm rooting for the refs that game. I mean, they will indeed be in the spotlight with Luka and Shea in the building. You know the refs will be in the spotlight. LG production, ALG production. FYI, The Cage needs a play-by-play person. The former guy has moved on to a new gig. I don't know who The Cage is. Content creator on YouTube, I assume? I gotta look it up. Go look up The Cage. Joel Morrison. What's up, Joel? Go Timberwolves. Trailing by 5 right now to the Pistons. David said Luka or Shea. If you're asking who my preference is to watch, I'd rather watch Shea than watch Luka. I think Shea is still more entertaining to watch than Luka is. If you're asking me who the better player is right now, I still think it's Shea. Shea better than Luka, for sure. I'll take the guy who has an MVP under his belt, who is on his way to a second straight MVP. I'll take that guy. If I look up The Cage, will that come up? I don't know who that is. I don't know who we're referring to. Yeah, I don't think this is what you're referencing. I'm seeing stuff about UFC and fighting and movie teasers, and these don't look like good movies. Look like a Star Trek episode called The Cage came up. Okay. West 4th Street? I see. So should I look up The Cage on the internet? Oh, you're talking about the basketball court. I thought you were talking about a company. Got you, brother. Got you. You're talking about literally the basketball court, The Cage. Got you. Now we're right here. The West 4th Street court's also known as The Cage. I got you. Yes, I know. I'm familiar. I thought we were talking about a company. Got you. Interesting. I'm not sure my style of play calling would fit The Cage, but I don't know. G4 said, all them Rudy haters, he's cooking right now. He is kind of cooking right now. Scored the last 2 buckets for the Minnesota Timberwolves. 6 points, 8 boards, an assist. He does have the 2 fouls. Played some nice defense overall. Joel Morrison said, I hate the Pistons. Well, you're talking to a Knicks fan, so, we're right here on that. I got a lot of respect for the Pistons, but, yeah. Hunter Dimsdale. What's up, Dimsdale? Hunter? Should I call you Hunter first? What's up, Hunter? Come on, Rudy. 12 rebounds. Let's get him, my boy. He's got, 8? So he needs 4 more the remainder of the game. There's 5 minutes to go in this third. I tend to think he'll probably get it. 12 rebounds. I think he'll get 12. OTM Key. What's up, OTM? Dosunmu needs to tighten up. Yes, indeed he does. Dosunmu on the court right now. He is 2 for 9, and he's had some wide open looks from 3 and has not delivered. 4:50 to go here. Highland gets it over to Reed, cutting to the basket, kicks it out to Dosunmu, pump fakes, baseline pull-up jumper out of the mid-range, got it to go. Ran off the three-point line, took what the defense gave them, and knocked down the mid-range jumper. Sometimes you just got to take the two. Sometimes you got to get back in rhythm. Here comes Marcus Sasser bringing it down against Highland. Highland up top. Sasser up top, being guarded by Highland. Sasser, pass fake, picks up his handle, gets it over to Levert. Levert coming to his left, being guarded by Dosunmu. Back out to Sasser. Dosunmu switches onto him. Gets it over to Duren. Duren loses the handle, picks it back up, dancing with it. Shot clock winding down, settles for the off-the-dribble pull-up jumper over Gobert, and throws up an air ball. Ball back to the Timberwolves. AOG said, Kenny Grant's Pro Classic New York City Basketball Tournament. I see, brother. I see. That's an interesting shout-out. I might have to look into it. Hunter said, I hope so, buddy. I hope so too, big dog. I hope so too. I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for you. Naj Reed has it at the foul line. He picks up his handle against Sasser, kicks it out to Dosunmu, coming to his left, trying to get it back to Reed. Instead, they get over to Gobert. Now back to Reed. Reed, high post, right wing, being guarded by Levert. One dribble, puts up the floater, got it to go along the baseline for Naj Reed there, and we're back to a one-point game. Back and forth, these two teams go. Levert has it up top, being guarded by Reed, crosses over to his right, down the lane in the paint, sees multiple defenders, just throws it up in the air, knowing Jalen Duren is making his way towards the basket. He threw up a prayer, and Jalen Duren answered it, picked up the loose ball, hits a pump fake, gets Gobert in the air, and draws the foul. So Jalen Duren will go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Finally, his first free throws of the night. I think his first free throws of the night. He's been asking for fouls on almost every drive to the rim he's had so far tonight. It's a good foul from Gobert. He got caught in the air. He made sure that Duren didn't get the and one. Jeremiah said, holy, come on, Gobert, I need a double-double. I'm not 100% sure in the double-double. He averages a double-double. I'm sure he'll get there with the rebounds. We'll see if he gets there with the points. I tend to think he will. He only needs 2 more dunks. Zane said, Duren developing a bag? A little bit. 22 years old, Jalen Duren. He's still got a lot of development still left in him. He does miss the second free throw, so he splits them. Naj Reed with the rebound, bringing it down the other way. Oh, and there's a fracas. Oh, there's some pushing and shoving. Marcus Sasser and Highland got into it a little bit there. And you know you're good for one of these whenever the Pistons are involved in a game. You know you're good for one of these. Not much, just a little drawn back and forth, a little face-to-face, fracas, then a little tiny shove from both sides, and then both players walked away. Not too much, but obviously the refs are going to blow the whistle, make sure it doesn't explode into anything more. Oh, that's a Marcus Sasser just runs into Highland and then steps to him, gives him a 2-handed shove, and then Highland delivers the 2-handed shove back. Not sure what the beef is with Sasser there, but Sasser is the one who initiated it. Both players will get hit with a technical because Highland ended up responding to Sasser. Not sure what the beef is. Obviously, it's got to be some words were exchanged. There wasn't a ton of contact. Obviously, there's a little pushing and shoving and holding and whatnot, but that tends to happen during a basketball game. But not sure. Not sure where that developed or where that started. The broadcasting team and the replay team are trying to find where this interaction started. Clearly, we know how it ended. Foong Pei said, Gratchef, a kerfuffle at the hootenanny. We're always good. There's always a pretty good chance we'll get at least one of those when we tune into a Pistons game. Joel Morrison, who do you want to win? It doesn't really matter to me. As a Knicks fan, it doesn't really matter if the Pistons win or lose. It doesn't really matter if the Timberwolves win or lose to me. So I'm just rooting for a good game. I want this to come down to the wire. I want it to be a good game. And I wanted to have a good ending. OTM said, why did Gobert rebound went from 8 to 7? So they probably miscredited him with a rebound, so they took one of them away. So it's just a double technical for Highland and Sasser. Double technical, one for each of the players, and we keep it moving. Oh, I see. So Sasser and Highland after the free throw for Jalen Duren, they were kind of in each other's space and vicinity. Highland came up high and kind of tried to shove off on Sasser a little bit, but because he came up high with the arm, it looked like he throws a little bit of an elbow towards Sasser. Sasser obviously takes exception to it. He comes over to confront Highland, and he gives him a little two-handed shove to be like, you're not going to do that to me. Highland takes exception to that. Sasser continues to make his way towards Highland. Highland eventually shoves him away. They keep it as a technical. One technical for Sasser, one technical for Highland. Calm yourselves down. Let's get back to playing basketball. I like it. BZB said, what's up with Edwards? 0 points. He's having an awful game. He's got 0 minutes. He's got 0 points. Not sure what's going on with him. Crane, it's a great call. Yeah, I like it. Let's not kick anybody out of the game. Let's not make it a bigger deal than it is. So it's a technical for each side, and let's keep it moving. Naj Reid, a step back three, can't get it to go. Good boxing out from Paul Reed on Gobert. Danish Jenkins able to sneak in there for the rebound. Home run pass to Jalen Duren, who gets blocked by Naj Reid. And now here comes Terrence Shannon, leaves it off for Jenkins. To Sumu, excuse me. Naj Reid down the lane, throws up a wild hook shot. Got it to go. Somehow his most difficult shot here tonight, but he got that one to go down. We're tied at 73. 3 minutes to go here. Levert has it up top, coming to his right, off a double screen, driving it down to his right in the paint. Goes up with the layup against Highland. Got it to go for Karis LeVert, using his size to his advantage against the Highland matchup there, finishing over him in the paint. Naj Reid fakes the handoff, over to Gobert, back to Naj Reid, swings through to his left off the handoff, dancing with it, now coming to his right, down the lane, gets tripped up, and he's going to go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Naj Reid looking to take over a little bit offensively. Ball in his hands a lot of shots being taken. He's got to be a go-to offensive hub right now. No Randle in the game. Obviously, Edwards not playing tonight. No McDaniels. 3 guys I'd probably go to initiate some offense before I would start force feeding Naj Reid here. With none of those guys in the game, gonna have to go to Naj Reid. Naj Reid at the foul line for 2. They were showing the replay. The crowd, we are in Detroit. The crowd wanted the no call because it looks like Naj Reid trips over his own feet. Literally trips over his own feet. And the Pistons get hit with the foul call. So obviously they're not happy with that. The fans are not happy with that. Naj Reid did hit I forgot to give LeVert his layup as well. So my bad. Scores is slightly off. Now Naj Reid knocks down both of his free throws, and we're back tied at 75. Joel said, will you stream the Thunder game? Yes, indeed, brother. We will stay live for the Thunder game. We will just switch stream rooms. So I will end this stream, but should direct you over to the next one. Handoff from Jalen Duren over to Danish Jenkins. Duren gets the pocket pass back from Jenkins, rolling to the rim, and he gets a big lefty one-handed slam. Finally put one down with some aggressiveness. He needed to because he's been getting stuffed at the rim a little bit. And then Duren comes up with a block on Terrence Shannon Jr., rebounded the Pistons. Here comes LeVert pushing the other way. One-on-one against Highland. Euro steps down the lane, lefty layup. Can't get it to go, but a foul is called, and Highland immediately signals to his bench for a challenge. I don't think they'll use a challenge on that one. Under 2 minutes to go here. Seth, what's up, Seth? BZB said, Edwards is ruining my parlay. Hunter said, what state are you from? South Carolina here? I'm from New Jersey. Born and raised in New Jersey. Bentley boy, what's up, Bentley? Where's Ant? Ant is on the bench, brother. Ant is on the bench. Forgot to give Duren that slam, by the way. LeVert misses the first free throw. Under 2 to go here. And LeVert misses 2 free throws. Kyle Anderson with the rebound. We're bringing it down the other way. Randle in the game now, along with Naj Reid. They're going small. Even with Jalen Duren in the game. Normally you'd want Gobert to stay in to match up with Duren's size and skill. But instead, they're going to go small and try to play him off the court, try to run him off the court a little bit. Highland struggling with his handle against Jenkins. Shot clock winding down, has it up top, driving to his left, pulls it back out, foul line, fall away, gets blocked, rebound by Duren, hit ahead to Paul Reed. Paul Reed will go down for the easy two-handed slam. Defense leading the offense for the Detroit Pistons, and a timeout for the Minnesota Timberwolves with 1:30 to go here in the quarter, and a 4-point lead for the Pistons, 79-75. SGA sleeps with the ref. Come on, brother. What's poppin', SGA? I'm just gonna call you SGA. Crazy. Joe Morrison said, will you stream the Spurs game? The Spurs game today? Brother. Brother, the Spurs game's at 10:30. If we're streaming the Lakers Thunder at 9:30, this game will end after the first quarter's already been played for the Spurs game. I don't like trying to stream a game, jumping in the middle of it. If I'm going to stream a game, I'd like to stream it from start to end. So we'll only do the double coverage today because that game will end around 11 o'clock. So unfortunately, every other game will have already tipped off. So there really isn't going to be another game available for us to stream. Hunter said, which teams do you normally stream? Well, here's the schedule, Hunter. We stream 6 days a week. I try to take at least one day off on the weekend, whether it's a Saturday or Sunday. So we stream 6 days a week. My priority is always going to be the Knicks, my favorite team. We started off only covering the Knicks. And obviously, I've transitioned to covering as much basketball as possible. So we stream 6 days a week. Sometimes we try to cover multiple games a night. Like tonight, we're doing the doubleheader. We're doing this game, Timberwolves Pistons, which will lead us right into Lakers Thunder. But we will take one day off during the weekend, usually. Sometimes not. If the games are good enough, we'll sneak in there. This is what sucks with streaming. The stream is buffering a little bit here, so let me refresh the page. Make sure we'll be all right. But we stream 6 days a week, and my priority is always going to be the Knicks. So if the Knicks are playing, I'm going to be streaming the Knicks game. But we stream every team across the league. Every team. Out-Tamey? What's up, Out? As Amazon is now unresponsive. Cool. How about all right. How about we just exit that page? Just get out of there. Now let's refresh a new Amazon page, I guess. Will that work? Looks like that's working. All right. Now we're going to have to go back to it. He said, are you really a chef? Not in the traditional sense, not in the food sense. I don't be chefing it up in the kitchen, but I do be chefing it up in other areas of life. I'll tell you that. Out of time. Gotcha. That's it. Out of time. Appreciate you out of time. Logan. What's up, Logan? Terrence Shannon Jr. is at the foul line. It looks like he split a pair. And he knocks down the second one. It is now 80-79. And I missed so much with that buffering there. It is 80-79. Minnesota takes a 1-point lead. Jenkins has it up top, swings through to his right, steps back, pump fakes again. Good defense from Highland. Swings it over to LeVert, pump fake, steps through, gets blocked by Kyle Anderson, out of bounds. There's 0.2 on the clock. There's no way they can get to a catch and shoot. This can only be a lob opportunity for the Detroit Pistons. Don't guard anybody out on the perimeter. They throw a lob in the Duren, he catches, throws it up, and it's an air ball, and it's a shot clock violation. 30 seconds to go. We missed almost a full minute. Carl James, what's up, Carl? The Pistons are so strong. How can my Knicks win against them? But I still believe. It's all we can do, Carl. It's all we can do. All we can do is believe. They get it into Naj Reid. Naj Reid 1-1 against Paul Reed. Reed down the lane, lefty layup. Can't get it to go. Good defense from Paul Reed. Reed on Reed action there. LeVert has it up top. Paul Reed tried to go quickly, but there's only a 3-second difference between game clock and shot clock, so this very well could be the final shot of the quarter. Kyle Anderson was asking if they have a foul. I don't think they do. They did not give him the signal. LeVert settles for the step-back three, more than enough time. Terrence Shannon Jr. grabbed the rebound, shot out of a cannon, going the other way, knocked out of bounds. He was looking for the foul call. He didn't get it, but there's 2 seconds on the clock. So the Timberwolves at least have time here to set up some sort of possession. They have more than enough time to catch it, make one move, and still be able to get a shot. Shout out Alex Rodriguez in the building, by the way. The camera just panned over to him by accident. TW, what's up, TW? Crane said, crazy, most of New York's chips come from MLB and NFL, Nets and Knicks. Haven't helped as much. Not at all. Not at all. Highland misses the corner three, and that will end our third quarter, 80-79. I will say, though, Minnesota walking into the third quarter with a 1-point lead, still decent. Still decent. Obviously, neither of these teams capable of pulling away from each other right now here tonight. It's been a very good game. Crandon said sports betting is illegal in my state. Low-key wish it was illegal in my state. Hunter said, what do you do for a living? I work on pipelines, I assume, and installing fire hydrants and stuff, and that's awesome. We'll def be watching in the future. Some streamers are boring. Def enjoying the stream tonight. Appreciate you, Hunter. Appreciate you. I also work in construction. I do more residential construction for my dad's company. It's a very small company. It's really mostly just me and him most of the time, and we do really small residential stuff for people. Right now, we're working on renovating somebody's bathroom. Peter, what's up, Peter? Where do you stream your games off? Which services? It's a great question, Peter. I have 5 different streaming services so that we can stream any game we want to stream. I have NBA League Pass, so we can watch any game. I have Amazon Prime to watch the Prime games. Like tonight, this is a Prime game. The only way to watch it is through Amazon Prime. I have Peacock, because occasionally they do only Peacock games. I have YouTube TV to get any of the live channels like NBC or ESPN. I have an ESPN account. I also have Gotham Sports app so that I can watch the Knicks games. That is the streaming service that you need to watch Knicks games when you live in the state, because otherwise it would be blacked out. So I have 5 streaming services, technically 6, I guess. I got to watch ESPN games through the YouTube TV account, but I think I still have ESPN Plus. I should probably cancel that, but sometimes it just is what it is. Benzino said, I work for my dad too. It sucks. There's pros and cons to it, man. There's pros and cons to it. Crandon said, I live in Oregon. I'm a maintenance technician for a 4-diamond resort. Nice. Nice. Hopefully at some point in my life, this becomes the main job. I've always, talked about with my dad whenever he asked me about this. I'm always like, well, the goal is for this to be the main thing, and then eventually for the construction work to be the side thing, or occasionally I do that with him. But, right now this is the side thing while that is the main thing. Hopefully we can balance those scales out as the community continues to grow. That is the goal. Wait till you retire. Joel said, I have to go. I'll be right back on. Appreciate you, though, Joel. Handle your business, big dog. Crandon said, sports betting keeps coming on the ballot but never passes. I think the betting stuff has just gone too far. It was cool when it first happened. It's just gone too far in my estimation, man. It's freaking everywhere. And now we have these, what is it called? Future bets now stuff, where you can literally bet on anything. It's just gone too far, man. It's gone too far. Zane said sportscasting over construction. I would agree. I would love to make this the main thing and that the side thing. But right now, it's just not financially there, unfortunately. Unfortunately, there are bills that need to be paid. Nice pass from Jenkins down low to the cutting all-star Thompson for the layup to start us off here in the fourth quarter. Here comes Highland, bringing it down against Jenkins. These are the players on the court right now to open up the fourth quarter for both teams. Highland down low to Randle, kicks it out to Naj Reid, ran off the line by Thompson, but instead of driving to the rim, he hits him with a jab step and knocks down that left corner three anyway. Nice shot for Naj Reid. Here comes Jenkins bringing it down the other way in the lane. No-look pass out to Ron Holland going to the rim. Nice, big, strong two-handed hammer. And he goes down holding his face. No foul is called. So the Timberwolves are just going to quickly bring it down the other way, but the Pistons will use a foul as Holland is down on the floor, really hurting. We're tied at 83, 11-10 to go. Holland got smacked in the face, smacked in the eye. And the crowd, with a big reaction, likely sealing that he got smacked in the face, and he gets smacked in the face pretty evidently, too, by Julius Randle there. No foul called. Should have been a foul on Randle. Pete Bus What's up, Pete Buzz? Appreciate you, brother. Hope you're having a good time tonight. Thank you for that subscription. Crandon said, sports betting keeps coming on the... Oh, I read that one. My bad. Raymond said, I had no choice, broke my back. Yeah, I'm still young, but I'm feeling it. Sometimes you wake up and that back is stiff, man. Highland to the rim, can't get the floater to go down. Kyle Anderson, the rebound, kicks it out to the open Reed. Can't knock down that open three. He knocked down the contested three, but misses the open one. That's how it goes in the NBA sometimes, a make or miss league. Jenkins bringing it down the other way, steps back, pump fakes, spins, good defense from Reed, shuts him off from any passing lanes, forced to kick it out to Paul Reed, has it out by the three-point line, calling for a guard, hands it off to Robinson. Robinson takes the baseline, wild layup attempt, can't get it to go, no foul called. The Detroit bench up in arms, wanting a foul call. Terrence Shannon Jr., big one-handed slam, just beat the Detroit Pistons down the court. And the Timberwolves take a 2-point lead. Jenkins bringing it down the other way, being guarded by Highland. Jenkins up top, and this game is turning into a half-court game, and we know the Pistons can struggle in the half-court at times, especially now with no Cade Cunningham, and now no Jalen Duren on the court as well, as he's taking his rest on the bench. Thesololab? What's up, Theso? I think construction is fun. Maybe it's just me. It's fun until you're, like tomorrow I will be up on a roof, cutting out part of the roof to put in a sunlight, a sunlight window. So that's not going to be fun tomorrow. Naj Reed gets double teamed off a rebound. Forced out of bounds. They call it out of bounds off the Timberwolves. They're going to give it back to the Pistons. And the Timberwolves, Naj Reed was very adamant that they wanted the challenge. They don't. The Pistons get the ball back. They swing it out. A wide open Javonte Green, left corner three, comes up short. Rebound to Conley. And now here comes Terrence Shannon Jr. Again, shot out of a cannon. The Pistons do a good job of getting back on defense this time. So Kyle Anderson will slow it down. He has it on the right wing. Trying to get it back to one of their playmakers. Gets it over to Randle. Jab step, driving to his right, down the lane. Ball knocked out of his hands. Randle looking for a foul. He doesn't get it. And then Naj Reed picks up a foul against Thompson. Naj Reed's got something to say about it. Not happy with the officiating right now. Don't Bank Keenan. What's up, Don't Bank Keenan? WCB Dribbler. What's up, Dribbler? Is Rudy coming back in? Rudy will eventually come back into this game. Yes. We got 9:41 to go. Come on, timer. Keep going. Keep ticking. Let's catch up. It is a 2-point lead for Minnesota here, 85-83. Danish Jenkins gets it over to Robinson. Coming off the screen. He puts up the straightaway three anyway. Well contested. Can't get it to go. Battle for the rebound. Kyle Anderson ends up with it. Excuse me. Kyle Anderson gets it over to Randle. Bringing it down. Going right through the chest of Paul Reed. Paul Reed gets hit with a foul call. And Paul Reed is very upset with the foul call, or upset that a foul was called in general, or is upset at himself or something. I'm not sure. I don't think they're going to use a challenge here. Randle's at the foul line for 2 free throws right now. Let's see if they use the timeout. They do not, as Randle now has the ball in his hands. So Randle will take his 2 free throws. No challenge incoming. Crandon said, we ain't at home, so not sure why the refs ain't helping Detroit. This is very fair. Rose, what's up, Rose? Analysis, sports reporters using betting lines for their story. Yeah, I hate it. It really bothers me when I see that. When I see people, keep that stuff separate. Keep your sports reporters and your analysis as your sports reporters and analysis, and then have your betting people as a different crew. Don't mix them. There's no reason to mix them. Duncan Robinson has it up top, being guarded by Shannon. Randle did knock down both free throws. 4-point lead for the Timberwolves here. Danish Jenkins swings through to his right, down the lane, off the screen. Layup, got it to go for Danish Jenkins. Been nice and consistent tonight for the Pistons. 15, 4, and 7 for Danish Jenkins. Kyle Anderson bringing it down the other way, leaves it off for Randle. Randle up top, being guarded by Reed, gets it over to Conley. Conley, jab step, coming to his right, spins back to his left on the rescreen from Randle, sees a double team, cross-court pass, Naj Reed swings through to his right, off the catch, down the lane, Euro step, lefty layup, can't get it to go. Good defense from Paul Reed to contest him at the rim. Here comes Duncan Robinson pushing it the other way, crosses over to his right, good defense by Conley to stay in front. They eventually get it back out to Reed, hands it off to Robinson, pocket pass down low to Reed. Reed with the floater off glass, he can't get it to go. Good contest by Kyle Anderson at the rim. And now here comes Kyle Anderson off the outlet, bringing it down the other way. He has it up top. They swing it over to Reed, swings it over to Terrence Shannon Jr. on the right wing. He's being guarded by All-Star Thompson. Back to Anderson, down the lane, spins to his left, leaves it off. Randle cutting along the baseline. A great cut from Julius Randle, catching Paul Reed, sleeping on him. And a nice pass from Kyle Anderson, who did play point guard back in high school. How do I know that? Because I went to go watch him in high school when he was in St. Anthony. Shout out Kyle Anderson. Again, wish he would be a Knick, but... Dennis Jenkins off the handoff down. Gets the floater to go down, end of the foul, and Mike Conley, Dennis Jenkins going to the foul line for one more for the old-fashioned three-point play. Trying to get three the old-fashioned way. Chicken Leg, what's up, Chicken Leg? Who do you think is going to win? Honestly, it could go either way. It's too close to tell. Too close to tell. Bruce Fowler, Marv Albert, yes, and it counts, indeed. Indeed. Zane said they got to be careful. Refs are in the mood. They're allowing a lot of physical contact here tonight. They are indeed. They are indeed. And Mike Breen's bang. Iconic calls, man. And then the Sheffy lined me up. Dennis Jenkins does knock down his and one free throw. Maybe one day we could throw that one in with the legends. But right now it's just the guy screaming into an empty room into a fake microphone. As Conley gets into the paint but throws it away to Duncan Robinson, and the Pistons are bringing it down the other way. Over to Thompson. Thompson against Terrence Shannon Jr. Good defense from Terrence Shannon Jr., but Thompson knocks down the lefty floater over him anyway. And the Pistons take a 1-point lead and some built momentum. 7:40 to go here in this fourth quarter. Ayo Dosunmu going to the scores table. They get over to Naj Reed, curling off a Randle screen all the way to the rim. Can't get the lefty layup to go. Another good contest at the rim by Paul Reed on Naj Reed. They get it over to Robinson down the lane, leaves it off of Paul Reed, lefty layup. Smokes the layup. That's Jalen Duren, by the way, not Paul Reed, excuse me. Jalen Duren misses the layup down the lane. Randle, bullet pass over to Conley in the corner, kicks out to Anderson. Anderson kicks it out. Naj Reed, wide open left corner three. He throws him an air ball, but it doesn't matter. They call a travel on Kyle Anderson there. Kyle Anderson can't believe it. Captain Massa down to the wire. It will indeed be down to the wire. OTM said Gobert or Dosunmu not in. I believe Dosunmu is going to be coming in for Kyle Anderson right now. We should see this change reflected here in a second. Dennis Jenkins bringing it down. I can tell you right now, I saw Kyle Anderson jogging towards the bench, and Dosunmu is in the game. Still no Rudy Gobert, though. We'll see when Rudy eventually comes back in. I assume around the 6-minute mark, another minute to go. They get it over to Thompson, hands it off to Holland. Holland Euro steps down the lane, past Dosunmu for a two-handed slam. Got smacked in the face, comes back on the court, and gets a big two-handed hammer in the paint. 7-0 run for the Pistons to take a 3-point lead. Randle has it on the left wing. Gobert's at the scores table. Randle gets it out to Conley. Conley, a no-hesitation three. Off the relocation, wide right, barely grazes the rim, and it goes out of bounds. Ball back to the Pistons. We're going to get a timeout here. Want to talk a couple of things over, but also catch our breath. Kamari said, can't believe no Gobert. He will be coming back in after this timeout here. They need some paint presence for sure. Zumi, what's up, Zumi? Your parlay? Couldn't be me, but I'm rooting for you, brother. Banker Brandon, I bet Pistons money line. Go Detroit. Leonardo Torquato, what's up, Leonardo? Zane said, man, a lot of lead switching. That's how you know this is a good game. It is indeed a very good game so far. Back and forth affair. Could go either way. It really just could go either way. We are at 9:13, by the way. Got to be cognizant of the time. As soon as this game ends, as soon as this game concludes, we will be switching over to our Lakers Thunder coverage later on tonight. That game is advertised to start around 9:30, so we know tip-off is usually 10 minutes after that. So the tip-off should be around 9:40, and we have still about a half hour before that. So we should see the conclusion of this game and still be able to cover that one from tip-off. Should. We'll see. We'll see. Sometimes when games are close like this, the final, 3, 4, 5 minutes of a game can get really dragged out with foul calls and timeouts and challenges and stuff like that. So hopefully this game stays on track and ends at an appropriate time, and then we can go over and cover our Lakers Thunder game later tonight. Orange Juice, what's up, Orange Juice? Is that a Michael B. Jordan 2K reference, or do you just like Orange Juice? I don't know if Ayo is going to get over 11.5 for rebounds and assists. Ayo Dosunmu has 3 boards and 4 assists, so I highly doubt it at this point, unless he goes crazy. Jamie McKnight, what's up, Jamie? Hashtag go blue. Is that Minnesota? Is that Minnesota blue? I am Kidriki? IMK? Can I call you IMK? What's up, IMK? Randle needs to score one more time. He probably will. 22, 5 and 5 for Randle tonight. And again, looking at that rebound number, Randle. Got to get some more rebounds, man. Your team needs you. You need a better rebounding performance. Cam Bands, what's up, Cam? Wolves money line? We'll see. It's a close game. This is definitely the game you should be taking a money line for. I'll tell you that, though. Jamie, Michigan Wolverines. Got you, Jamie. Got you. Brandon Graves said, who is your pick for the NCAA? I mean, now that Hurley and UConn is there, I got to root for Hurley and UConn. I was rooting hard for St. John's, but I'm going to rock UConn. Going to rock UConn now. C. Dinger. What's up, C. Dinger? Is Gobert afraid of Duren? Not in the slightest, brother. Not in the slightest. Duren with 16 and 11 and 4 tonight for Jalen Duren. Couple of bad turnovers for Duren, especially in that first half, though. Dribbler said, is Ayo going to get one more assist? He very well could. And Gobert one more rebound? He very well could as well. Coming out of this timeout, here we go. Jenkins has it up top, jumping back into the action. 6:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. We are approaching the halfway point. Jenkins coming to his right at the foul line, leans in. Scoop layup with the right hand over Gobert, can't get it to go. Duren right there for the offensive rebound, goes up and gets fouled. He's going to the foul line for 2 free throws. 6:20 to go. Star said, Tobias Harris already burned my chances at 5K. Homeboy barely played. He got injured earlier in the game. A little knee-to-knee contact. Went limping off the court and has not returned. So he's been done in the game for a while. Mike Jones with the Mike Jones. Dosunmu trash. Not having the greatest of games for Ayo Dosunmu here tonight. Michelle C. What's up, Michelle? Please, Minnesota. Let's go. They got a little bit of an uphill battle to climb here. Now down by 4 as Duren hit the first free throw. He's got one more coming. Rufino Alonzo. What's up, Rufino? Go Pistons. I bet 20K. Duren knocks down both free throws. A 5-point lead is opened up for Detroit here. 6:20 to go in this fourth quarter, approaching the halfway point. Terrence Shannon Jr. still remains in the game. They get it over to Dosunmu. Swings through to his right. Down the lane. Stops. Pass fake. Got nowhere to go. Hands it off to Reed. Reed. Half spin. Now spins to his right against Thompson. Leans in. Layup. Can't get it to go. Battling for his own rebound. Knocked out of his hands. Thompson picks it up. Quick outlet to Jenkins. Jenkins almost travels with it. Gets it over to Duncan Robinson, who lobs it down low to Thompson, who just skies over Dante DiVincenzo for the two-handed slam. My guy can just jump out of the gym. It was not a good decision, but he knew if I throw it high enough, All-Star Thompson's going to go up there and grab it, and yes, he did. Yes, he did. It was not a good pass from Duncan Robinson, but he said, I'm just going to trust the athleticism of my guy, All-Star Thompson. And DiVincenzo's there, but Thompson just outjumps him. Anderson gets it over to Randle. Randle high post left wing. Randle hands it off to Dosunmu. Dosunmu has it on the left wing. Back to Randle in the high post. Randle spins along the baseline, draws the foul on Holland. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. 5:40 to go. Honest LGO, what's up, Honest? This game's over? I wouldn't say that. It is a 7-point lead for Detroit. Randle's going to be at the foul line for 2 free throws here. All momentum pointing towards Detroit, but you never know. You never know. This is why we watch the games. Bonita Crandon, what's up, Crandon? Randle knocks down the first free throw. He's got one more coming. Joe the Kid, what's up, Joe? Wolves can come back? Absolutely. It is possible. JHY. What's up, JH? I think it's going to be overtime. It could be. I would not mind an overtime game. It'll cut into our Lakers Thunder coverage, but Wouldn't mind in overtime. Overtimes are always fun. Randle misses the second free throw. Can't be missing free throws at this stage in the game, brother. It is a 6-point game. Detroit up 96-90. Jenkins takes the lane, throws up an air ball lob, but we're just going to pretend it's a pass as Jalen Duren rips it away from the defense and throws down a one-handed hammer in the paint. We're going to pretend it was a lob for Danis Jenkins there. Was not even close to the rim on the floater attempt, so we're going to pretend it's a lob. Dante DiVincenzo has it up top. He's been incredibly quiet tonight. 5 points, 2% from the field. They get over to Gobert, over to Dosunmu. Dosunmu hits Randle cutting to the rim. He gets caught in the air, kicks it out to DiVincenzo. Extra pass to Anderson, and Anderson steps on the sideline after he caught it in the corner, trying to attack instead of just taking the open three. We know Anderson's not a good three-point shooter, but man, you got to take the open ones. You might have to take Kyle Anderson out of this game. Might have to put Naj Reid in and just go extremely big. Danis Jenkins has it up top, crosses over to his left, down the lane, gets into the paint, kicks it out. Ron Holland left corner three, barely grazes the rim, almost threw up an air ball. They throw it down low to Danis Jenkins, back out to Holland for another three-point attempt. He can't get it to go. Quick, I like that Ron Holland has the confidence to shoot him, but brother, that's not really the shot you want. Dosunmu blows past Duncan Robinson for the easy finger roll layup in the paint, and it's back to 6. 4:30 to go here in this fourth quarter. Time winding down. Pistons have the advantage. Robinson has it up top, swings through to his right, pump fakes, down low to Duren. Anderson jumps the pass, and he gets the steal. Here comes Dosunmu. Over to Randle, to the rim, gets caught in the air, back to Dosunmu. Runs into Gobert, and it's out of bounds, and Dosunmu looking at Gobert like, pay attention. Either get out of the way or be prepared for a pass. As Dosunmu was going up and runs right into Gobert, who's just mindlessly standing in the way. And it ends up being a turnover. Ball back to Minnesota. Gobert gets subbed out of the game. Here comes Naj Reid. Thompson has it up top, hands it off to Jenkins. Jenkins hands it off to Holland. Holland gets it over to Thompson. Thompson being guarded by Dosunmu. Thompson jab step coming to his left, putting his head down, attacking, spins, fall-away jumper in the paint, comes up short, doesn't get the roll. Duren battling for the offensive rebound. Randle knocks it out of his hands. Dosunmu able to pick it up, and here comes Anderson. And Chris Finch and the Timberwolves call a timeout. Good timeout. 3:50 to go here in this fourth quarter. Michelle C. said, this is my first time on your channel. I love it. Thanks. Subscribe. Appreciate you, Michelle C. We will continue to be live right after the conclusion of this game. We're going to jump over to the Lakers-Thunder game, but we are also, if you guys don't know, anybody new in the chat, we are live 6 days out of the week. We cover as much basketball as possible. Now, my favorite team is the New York Knicks, so I will always prioritize covering Knicks games. But sometimes we cover multiple games a night. And when the Knicks aren't playing, we get to cover whatever team, whatever game we think will end up being the best game of the night. Here tonight, we got 2 games in store. I owe the community a game because my mom's birthday weekend was last weekend, so I took off Friday and Saturday. We didn't have Friday streams or Saturday streams, so sometimes I take one day off. So really, I owe the community at least one more game, and that's why we're sneaking in the doubleheader here tonight. Mike Jones said, told Dosunmu's trash. He needs to shoot. He was trying to shoot, but Rudy Gobert was standing in his way. It was almost like Rudy Gobert was playing defense on Dosunmu. He ran Dosunmu at a wide open lane to the basket. He caught it, turned towards the rim, and Rudy Gobert is just standing right there in his way. Lee Wei Shi said, still missing DiVincenzo? Every day. Every day. I will say, bad game from Dante. Just not giving his team really all that much. He's played some solid defense all around, but 5 points, no rebounds, no assists is crazy, especially with no Anthony Edwards. They need more from Dante, and he's not providing it. But I just have to believe he would play better alongside Brunson, Hart, Bridges. I want the Nova Core 4, man. I just wanted it. I wanted it bad. Just that said, Lakers' first game or second being called on the channel on a live stream. It will be the Lakers' fourth game, I believe. So we covered both. I don't know if you want to count it, but we covered both times the Knicks played the Lakers. So that's 2 games right there. We covered the Lakers versus the Spurs during the NBA Cup season, earlier in the season. That's the 3rd one, and I believe tonight's going to be the 4th one. So it'll be the 4th time we cover the Lakers this season. If you guys don't know, I have like a ban list. It's not a real list, but it's just teams that I don't find very fun to watch and cover. The Lakers are on that list. I don't really enjoy watching the Lakers. Oh, actually, it might be the 5th time, because I think we covered a Lakers-Raptors game this season as well. But I don't particularly love watching the Lakers play. But the Lakers have been red hot as of late. They've been playing well, so might as well watch them play against the Oklahoma City Thunder and get a gauge on what they're doing well and what they're not doing well. Oh, no, we also covered a Lakers-Pistons game. So this is the 6th time we've covered the Lakers this season, I believe. Either the 5th or 6th time. Survivors rejoice. What's up, Survivors? Why is Kyle Anderson still playing? Because he's a really smart basketball player who really helped this team tonight. He's helped them defensively. He's helped them as a connector and a ball mover. He's just been solid for them. You're not going to see his value in the counting stats and in the box score, but overall, he's been just really, really solid. Here we go. We're back into it. Randle has it in the high post. Hands it off to Naj Reid. Off the handoff. Puts up the straightaway three. Can't get it to go. Long rebound. Finds its way into the hands of Duncan Robinson. Here comes Jenkins. Bringing it down. Jenkins up top being guarded by Kyle Anderson. They get it over to Herter. Herter being guarded by DiVincenzo. And a foul on DiVincenzo and some reach-ins there. DiVincenzo being a little too reckless there in the defense. Kevin cares. What's up, Kevin? I'm so cooked. 13.5 points. I needed under 13.5. It's possible. It's possible. We're going to have a very low-scoring final 3.5 minutes here. The Pistons are in the bonus. Both teams in the bonus for the final 4 minutes here. Herter at the foul line for 2. That's a bad foul from DiVincenzo then. Just gives them 3 points at the foul line here. Aiden Espinoza. What's up, Aiden? Lakers played no defense. SGA dropping 35 tonight. I mean, SGA drops 35 most nights anyway. Human Tooth. What's up, Human Tooth? I just need 209 total. I'm rooting for you, brother. I'm rooting for you. Herter knocks down both free throws. It is an 8-point game. And we get a Detroit timeout? Detroit has 1 timeout remaining. The Minnesota Timberwolves have 3. So I think the Timberwolves took a timeout. Because if you guys don't know, once you hit the 2-minute mark, yeah, the Timberwolves take a timeout. The reason why they take a timeout, even though we just had a timeout, is because once you are under 2 minutes, both teams, no matter how many timeouts you have remaining, you are only allowed a max of 2 timeouts. So you might as well use them up until you end up with 2 timeouts. So we have 3.5 minutes to go. It's a bad foul from DiVincenzo. You're down 8, 3.5 minutes to go. Let's call the timeout now. It's essentially a free timeout that you can take, talk some things over, and then we'll have our 2 timeouts remaining going to the final stretch of the game here. Crandon said, battle with the free throw merchants up next game. Yeah, hopefully we don't have like 15 free throw attempts versus 15 free throw attempts type of night. Antoine Thomas, what's up, Antoine? Bruce Fowler said the last Laker game was close, but still boring. Yeah, I mean, they play close games, and usually close games are fun and entertaining, but they're so slow-paced because, number one, the Lakers don't really want to get out and run, but also, it's when you watch a Lakers game, it's a parade to the foul line. If it's not Luka, it's LeBron. If it's not LeBron and it's not Luka, it's Austin Reeves. Between the 3 of them, they're the worst foul-baiting team in the NBA. Like, at least the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's really just kind of SGA. But with the Lakers, it's like everybody. You throw in Marcus Smart into that mix, and it's like, my goodness, man. They got to replace the name to the LA Floppers at this point. DiVincenzo gets it into Anderson. Anderson will bring it down. 3:30 to go. Anderson gets it over to Dosunmu. Dosunmu swings through to his right. On the go screen from DiVincenzo, they get it up top to Randle. Randle hesitates from 3, being guarded by Duren. Crosses over to his left, hands it off to DiVincenzo. He mishandles it. He dives for it, saves it over to Randle. Shot clock down to 5. Randle got to get busy. Step back 3. He's going to settle. Can't get it to go. Long rebound. Good boxing out from Detroit. Danis Jenkins able to pick it up. Shot out of a cannon. Blowing right past Randle. Pulls it out. Kicks it out. Robinson, a right wing 3. That could be a dagger. And there it goes for Duncan Robinson. And an 11-point lead has opened up for the Detroit Pistons. And it feels like they're going to start pulling away here. Dosunmu to the rim. Draws the foul. He's going to go to the foul line for 2. But we are now under 3 minutes to go. More than enough time. But man, oh man. Man, oh man. Is it getting spooky now for Minnesota as Detroit's starting to pull away? Lee Wei Shi said, make Robinson and Herter play defense. The thing with both of those guys, Lee Wei-Shi, is they're not bad defenders. They're not good defenders, but they're kind of average, maybe even slightly below average, maybe even slightly above average. They're not terrible defenders, which is why they can hold up in this rotation. NK Remy, what's up, NK Remy? Minnesota should forget about the three. I mean, you got to take the open ones, but they are definitely just kind of heaving them up there in certain spots here. Dosunmu knocks down both free throws. 2:50 to go. Crandon said SGA a little more tolerable to watch. Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot more tolerable to watch. It is annoying and frustrating sometimes to watch SGA, but he's so skilled. It's still fun. Whereas Luka, it's almost entirely flailing and foul baiting. Whereas SGA, it's a lot of flailing and foul baiting, but not all. Dennis Jenkins knocks down a rhythm dribble, mid-range pull-up jumper over Julius Randle. And again, the shots are going down for Detroit. They're feeling good. They're moving and grooving. Minnesota can't come up with a stop right now. Inside pass to Kyle Anderson. Kicks it back out to Randle. Randle driving it down, trying to draw the foul. He does. And Randle will go to the foul line for 2 free throws. Again, they're making their way to the foul line now. Da Vinci Code. What's up, Da Vinci Code? Thank you, Duncan, for 3 points. Good luck on that 17, Angel. Felipe said, Wolves are on my never again list. Randle's at the foul line for 2 free throws here. There's 2:15 to go. Randle knocks down the first free throw. He's got one more coming. It's a 10-point game. Edwin Ba. What's up, Edwin? Need Wolves plus 8.5. Could happen. Actually, 8.5 is a little big. I don't think that could happen. If the Wolves win, it'll be by like a possession or 2. Randle knocks down both free throws. 9-point game. A little over 2 minutes to go. Stops and scores is the name of the game from Minnesota here. And the stops is the part of the game that has eluded them here. Duren has it up top, being guarded by Randle. Randle applying some pressure, trying to force a turnover. Duren spins right off of him all the way to the rim. Smokes a layup for Jalen Duren. Wow. It's a bad miss. They get it over to Naj Reid. Naj Reid bringing it down. Picks up his handle. Hands it off to Dosunmu. Dosunmu pulls it out, being guarded by Jenkins. Over to Kyle Anderson. Kyle Anderson over to Naj Reid. Takes a dribble. Puts up the left corner 3. Got it to go for Naj Reid. It's a 6-point game. Not out of it. Not out of it at all. 1:40 to go. Dennis Jenkins up top. Naj Reid up to 19 points tonight. He's made 4 threes, and they've needed all of them. He's only made 1 shot inside the paint, though. 5 for 14 from the floor overall. Dennis Jenkins coming to his left, pulls it back out, now coming to his right. Randle switched on to him. Dennis Jenkins down the lane, puts up the jumper off glass. Got it to go for Dennis Jenkins, who's closing this one out. He said, Cade Cunningham who? It's Dennis Jenkins' time. Randle up top. Pass fakes, got nowhere to go. Kicks it out to Dosunmu. Dosunmu dancing with it. Crosses over to his right, down the lane, leans in, scoop layup. Got it to go for Ayo Dosunmu. Nice drive and finish. Back to 6 it goes, but there's a minute left. Jalen Duren bringing it down the other way. And Randle uses a foul. They're in the bonus. Not sure what that decision is about. And Detroit will use their final timeout here. It's a lot of confidence for JB Bickerstaff to feel like he is not going to need another timeout here tonight with a 6-point lead and a minute left to go. It's a lot of confidence from JB Bickerstaff to use it up there, the last timeout he has. Thomas outing. What's up, Thomas? I need Duren to get 2 more points. He will be at the foul line for 2 free throws coming out of this timeout. Angel, what's up, Angel? 1 more bucket from Duncan, baby. Come on. We'll see. I think the Pistons will be playing a lot of keep away now, and it'll devolve into a foul game now. Rue Simpson is rooting for overtime. I don't know if we get overtime. It's possible. Doka, what's up, Doka? Maybe we get some overtime? We'll see. We'll see. It's possible. Dev Clips, what's up, Dev? Did Robert get hurt? Who's Robert? Rudy? Gobert. No. They just need offense right now. They need offense more than they need defense. Zane said, Bickerstaff Coach of the Year candidate? Yeah, for sure. He's a candidate. I think Coach of the Year should go to Joe Mazzulla of the Celtics, though. What's up, Happy to see you, brother. Mike Jones said, need Dosunmu for over 21 points and rebounds. Dosunmu has 14 and 4, so he's got 18 right now. So you need at least 3 more points and at least another rebound with a minute to go. It's possible. We'll see. But not likely, brother. The Big Cheese. What's up, Big Cheese? They don't get free throws off of that. Not sure why. Not sure why. They were in the bonus. Oh, because it's the first foul in the final 2 minutes. Gotcha. Good foul from Randle then. Doesn't put him at the foul line. Danish Jenkins down the lane against Dosunmu. Dosunmu gets the block with 4.1 on the shot clock for the Pistons here. Great defense for the Timberwolves. Remy said, man, your stream is entertaining. Appreciate you, Remy. I try to put on a fun show. What's the point of being live if we're not going to have fun with it? Herder sneaks it into Duncan Robinson, but he smokes a layup. Rebounded to Dosunmu. He shot out of a cannon, pushing it down the other way, but tried the dribble between 3 defenders. The Pistons pick it off. Jalen Duren runs right into the chest of Naj Reid. No foul call. He missed the layup. Wow, terrible no call. DiVincenzo lobs it down low to Randle. Randle gets the finger roll layup to go down. Helter-skelter play. A lot of time taken off the clock. 32 seconds remaining. Timberwolves playing some full-court pressure here. It's a 4-point game to get it into Duren, and Randle will use a foul. 30 seconds to go. They're just going to send him to the foul line for 2. Jalen Duren huffing and puffing right now, so maybe just trying to foul the big man who's been running up and down the court, who's breathing heavy. He's missed a free throw or 2 here tonight, but he is a pretty good free throw shooter. We'll see if he can take care of business at the line here. As long as he takes care of business, this game should be over. Naughty Go said, no way, JB Bickerstaff is a lock for Coach of the Year for sure. I got to disagree, man. What Joe Mazzulla did this year with the Boston Celtics is absolutely spectacular, man. Absolutely spectacular what Mazzulla did. Jalen Duren knocks down the first free throw. It's a big weight off his back. A lot of pressure comes off after you make the first one. Yer said, channel growing daily. I see. Just respond to my message when you got 10K plus a stream. When you get 10K plus a stream. Appreciate you, Yer. Appreciate you. Duren does miss the second one. And a timeout for the Timberwolves. They have 2 timeouts remaining. They use one of them here. So after this timeout, they will still have a timeout remaining. Thomas outing said Clippers money line. The Spurs center Wemby out. Wemby out today. 60 AT. What's up, 60? Lakers or OKC? I mean, I'm going to go with OKC just because they are the best team in the league this year. Although the Lakers, they're going to try and knock them off today. They are one of the hotter teams in the league as of late, rising all the way up to the 3 seed out in the West. That's not nothing. Lee Wei, she said, should have called the timeout, set up a pass. You mean the Pistons should have called the timeout? They don't have any timeouts remaining. JB Bickerstaff decided to use his final timeout with a minute left to go. That's why I called it out at the time, because it's a risk. It's dangerous. Use up your timeout with a full minute to go and only a 6-point lead. Benzino. Aren't there 2 bigs out, Niederhauser and Jackson, for the Clippers? Yeah, Niederhauser, I believe, is done for the season. Not sure about Jackson, though. Conrad got bans. What's up, Conrad? OKC ain't doing anything in the playoffs. I mean, they won the championship last year, brother. I don't know if... All right. They're not beating the Spurs in a 7-game series. We will see. We will see. Kevin cares. He said sorry for the bomb. Go ahead, brother. You could put whatever you want in the chat. I'm just not going to read it out loud. DiVincenzo, the straightaway 3, way off, hits the side of the backboard. And DiVincenzo, who's been off all night, not sure why we draw up the play for him. I know he's your most dangerous shooter, but man, I'd rather go to Naj Reid. Heck, I'd even rather go to Randle at this point. Maybe not Randle. I'd rather go to Naj Reid or Dosunmu before I went to DiVincenzo on that set play. Didn't love that. Didn't love that. Sugar said, Devo's on my ban list now. The Big Cheese said, how long is Ant out for? Well, he played the last game. He was questionable coming in. I'm talking into my water now. He was questionable coming into tonight. As Duren misses the first free throw. So I think they're just, going to be careful with him going into the playoff run here. I don't think he's out for long. I think it's just kind of a game-to-game basis whether or not he might play or not. Devon Scott. What's up, Devon Scott? OKC ain't doing anything in the playoffs? Shaking my head. It's almost as if they already won a championship last year. Duren does knock down the second free throw. It's a 6-point game. Dosunmu driving it down all the way to the rim, gets the layup and the foul against Herter. He's going to the foul line for one more. The old-fashioned three-point play on the way for Dosunmu here. He can cut it to a single possession game with 17 seconds to go. Joseph said, I can't count how many times you did that. Talking to my water? I don't know, brother. Like I tell you guys, this is a fake mic. If you guys don't know, it's a prop mic. I just need something to do with my hands. The mic is right here. Just need something to do with my hands. Dosunmu does knock down the free throw. It's a three-point game. They get it into Jenkins. They're going to show a double team to Jenkins. Naz Reid has to foul him as Jenkins was about to break the double team there. 14 seconds to go. Jenkins at the foul line for two. He's been on it all game long. He's got 24, 5, and 8 here tonight. He's been fantastic yet again for Dennis Jenkins. He can ice the game here with some free throws. Arthur with the Arthur. Star said if they make it to overtime, that will be impressive. It will indeed. It will indeed. Jenkins makes the first free throw, though, making it that much more difficult for the Timberwolves as it's now a 2-possession game at worst. Jay Hammer said, would be cool if we could keep spinning a basketball on your finger while giving the broadcast. I'm not good at that at all. Dennis Jenkins does knock down both free throws. It is a 5-point game with 14 seconds to go. It's possible, but highly unlikely that the Minnesota Timberwolves can force this overtime or even pull off a victory. It's possible, but highly unlikely. That is the final timeout they have, so really unlikely now. Trevor said the fact that it's a 3-point game when the Pistons got hot in the fourth quarter there, yep, it's pretty impressive. 60 said Blazers or Pelicans? I don't know, brother. The Blazers, I guess. I don't know. Daniel Dash said, are you doing the Lakers versus Thunder? Yes, we are, Daniel. We're going to go for the doubleheader here tonight. Upon the conclusion of this game, once we hit double zeros or the game is officially decided, we will be switching over to Lakers Thunder coverage, which, by the way, if we go around the league, are we tipped off yet? Not yet. So we still got a little bit of time. We're trying. We got 14 seconds left to go in the game. So as soon as this game ends, we're going to swap right over so we can get it from tip. Still got a little bit of time remaining. Mike Jones said, Dosunmu did it for me. Over 21 points and rebounds. 17 and 5. He got it, brother. He got it. They get it in. DiVincenzo over to Dosunmu. Right corner three. He's open, but he misses it. But a foul is called. Is this a foul in the three-point attempt? What is this foul? Okay, it's a foul on the Timberwolves. Foul on Dante DiVincenzo. Or is it a foul on Randle? Awkward play. I'm not sure who the foul is on, but I don't know who the foul is on. The commentators are not giving us clarity. They're showing Alex Rodriguez now instead of showing the actual court and players. Who has the ball? What is going on? Okay, it's a foul on the Timberwolves. It's a foul on, I believe, DiVincenzo or maybe Randle. I don't know. Either way, it's a foul on the Timberwolves, and Javonte Green's at the foul line for 2, and that will effectively end the game right there. Daniel Dash, did you see Jock Landale get decked versus the Magic? I did see a little bit of that play. Goga Bitadze has a history of being aggressive and dirty in that way. Unfortunately, it looked like Jock Landale got hurt. Hopefully it's not too serious because Atlanta's been playing hot, and Landale's been a part of it as their backup big. Green knocks down both. Dosunmu's going to bring it down the other way. They'll give him the layup. But this is all over already. They get it into Duren. Loose ball. DiVincenzo over to Reed. Reed the three. Can't get it to go. And that will be the end of the game. The final score, 113 to 108, and that will end it. So we're going to immediately jump over to the other game because we don't, it already tipped off. So let's get ahead, let's get it out. Real quick before we sign off, shout out to all of our channel members, whether you were gifted a membership or you decided to become a member all on your own. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to all of the new viewers and new subscribers who found the channel here today for this stream. We will stay live. What I will do is I will end the stream, but it will come up whether you would like to join us on to the next one. I'm going to immediately go live over for our next game. See you guys in a second.